Since I was born, but now I am getting old. Hakuna motangu, hakuna togabu.
All right, there it is. The first thing I want to check is if anyone can hear me. So if you can hear me, indicate. The session is I think the platform is somewhat being under attack by the obedient space. So if you can't hear me, indicate. Let me type it in the comment section just so I'm clear. If you can hear me, indicate. So if you can hear me, indicate. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? So I'm waiting for you to let me know if you can. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? If you don't tell me you can hear me, then I cannot carry on. Can you hear me? Right, if anyone can hear me, indicate. All right. So I only had to wait for like 5 minutes for you to let me know. If you cannot hear me, then I cannot carry on. So if you don't let me know, then so thank you, Kay. We got at least 14, about 20 people watching over several platforms, and I'm asking if you can hear me. You can't even make the effort to type. I mean, it's quite disconcerting actually how this platform runs. You ask a basic question and nobody will even, I'm not sure sometimes if it's worth the effort. Can you hear me? Just say yes or no. So there it is. Yes, it's the obedience, of course, I'm sure it is. But nevertheless, we'll soldier on. So, hello? All right, so we soldier on. So a few apologies to make before we get into the session. Yes, apologies for the dark background. We're in a heat wave in the UK at the moment, and as bright as the sun is behind me, it's not permeating through. So that's why you cannot see my face. I'm sure you'll be saying, "Thank God that you cannot see his ugly mug." But nevertheless, that's what's going on. So we have to make do. We have to make do until things improve. So we're back to where we started from. The two sessions that we used to have when we first started this live streaming, we're back in that space now. So this is going to be a short little 2-hour session just to document what has been going on. And then in the later evenings, we have a longer session and then that goes on. So a lot of gremlins are. So sorry. You're going to be seeing me ebb and flow in between. You're going to be seeing me ebb and flow in between. It's going to be a scattered session somewhat. I can already anticipate that because we seem to be having a lot of IT problems, which we don't have traditionally, but we have when we run the sessions. So that's why I'm making the attribution to the obedience. But nevertheless, the session starts and here it is. So a short little session, and this is what we're going to be contending with. So we're going to the Peter Obi space. You saw the headline. So Peter Obi has been dropping cryptic messages on his Twitter handle. But why is that? So we're going to be asking that question. Peter Obi has been dropping cryptic messages on his Twitter handle, but why is that? So we're going to be answering that question. So in his latest, or rather one of his latest Twitter outputs, he was saying that he would not knowingly break the law. So nobody says that I would not knowingly break the law just out of the blues. We all know, I think we can all agree on that nobody would just casually say I would not knowingly break the law out of the blue. So there has to be something underpinning that. But what is the latest thing that has happened to Peter Obi in recent times? The latest thing that has happened to Peter Obi in recent times was his arrest and detention in the United Kingdom at Heathrow Airport. We all heard that story. We're not clear if he was put in handcuffs or not. We're not clear that when Peter Obi was arrested in the United Kingdom, if he was put in handcuffs or not, because the pictures have not yet come through. But what we do know is that he was arrested and detained in the United Kingdom. We know that for fact because that was actually even released by his team, because they wanted to control the narrative of what happened there, because they knew the story was going to come out in public. So they moved quickly to release the story so that they could control the narrative and manage the right narrative. And they've now come up with this obscure storyline of an imposter. So we leave that to one side, the ludicrous storyline of imposter, which rhymes very much with the storyline of the audio clip when they told us it was deep fake and all that. So we leave that to one side. But Peter Obi has come out on his Twitter space to tell us that he would not knowingly break the law. And he's saying this off the back of his arrest and detention in the United Kingdom. So what underpins that? we'll try and pick that in the course of the session. So a few other storylines as well we'll go through. But before we go through all of those, let me play you another little musical intermission. This is only really to give me the space to realign my system because there seems to be some sort of a buffering going on. So let me play you a little bit of a musical clip to stand in bridge as I try and reconfigure my system, hopefully to make it fit for purpose. So this is one of my favorite musics that I grew up on. A lot of you may or may not remember this, but remember it now. This is Charlie Boy at his finest.
What a miss. Chaka. Hapo nao. Ndio kukuwewe.
Misimo, zikene mi fije menganga. Mata misimo, wa mi fije menganga. Yes sir. Mata misimo, zikene mi fije menganga. Mata misimo, wa mi fije menganga. Onyama baby onyama baby mo onyama baby mo afununginanya matamisi mo nikakwegumebu matamisi mo hey asampete mwanyoma lo 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 Watamisi, ife ya sogwemo, otrisi kwoku, otrisi aga, omume ya sogwemo, watamisi le, watamisi, ife ya sogwemo, watamisi, ife ya sogwemo, onyoma, ololo, onyoma. Asampete wanyoma munagige bio ife ya sobremo watamisile asampete wanyoma Misimo, zikene mi fije menganga. Mata misimo, wa mi fije menganga. Yes sir. Mata misimo, zikene mi fije menganga. Mata misimo, wa mi fije menganga. Onyama baby mo onyama baby mo afununginanya matamisi mo nikakwebumebu matamisi mo hey asampete wanyoma lo Nuzo, Wakamise Nemanya Wenisi. Anom Nagafe Nuzo, Wakamise Nemanya biakene, hey you boy, biakene, oh. Abialamo, baby, Abialamo, want to miss you, Abialamo, baby, Apotakwalamo, want to miss you, now you biko, now you I choose, my yahoo.com, my www.com, I tender for your web, they browse your site, every day and night.
So that was Charlie Boy, Nwata Miss. If you know that music, if you remember that music, then I know how old you are. So that was Charlie Boy, Nwata Miss. That's the backdrop to my growing up years. Nwata Miss by Charlie Boy. So Nwata Miss, as guys, I bring you this. Peter Obi speaks on breaking the law, reiterates commitment to new Nigeria. So this is where we are, and this is what we're speaking to. The former governor of Anambra State took to his Twitter on Tuesday evening, April the 18th, and wrote on his commitment to taking back the country from forces. He and Laura, of course, Peter Obi, who looted Anambra for 8 years. Peter Obi speaks on bringing Nigeria out of poverty. Yes, Peter Obi speaks on bringing Nigeria out of poverty, and that his alleged stolen mandate will be taken back. So this is now what Peter Obi published on Twitter. Maybe I should actually go to his Twitter page so we can read it directly from there, because from the horse's mouth is always better. So let me, actually, I'll read this article and then we'll go to his Twitter page to double verify. So this is what he said. Sometimes as humans, we make mistakes, but I will never knowingly. So that is the sentence that I was really looking to land on. So sometimes as humans, we make mistakes, but I will never knowingly break any law. So this is what Peter Obi said on Twitter, and this is on his verified Twitter handle, by the way. I will show you in a moment. So this is on his verified. So these are not abstracted statements, you understand? So if he says that, oh, I did not wear red trousers yesterday. So he cannot say that I did not wear red trousers yesterday, unless if he wore red trousers yesterday was under contention or not. So you see, what I'm highlighting is that this is very particular and specific, this statement. So it's not a random statement, and it is in response to something. Sometimes as humans, we make mistakes, but I will never knowingly break any law. So that's not an abstract statement. That's not a random statement. That is a specific response to something. But what is that specifically responding to? So now let's now go back just over the course of the recent times to see what Peter Obi has been contending with. So what Peter Obi has been contending with in recent weeks is called to religious war within the Nigerian space, the Yes Daddy tape. So he's contending with that, but more potently, his arrest and detention in the United Kingdom. So he's contending with that too. So now his contention with the calling for a religious war within the Nigerian state, that he can wrap around the language of politics and use his ethnic base to fight that off. But his arrest and detention in the United Kingdom, he cannot get away with that, because the United Kingdom is a law and order sort of a country. And do you remember a president from a Latin American country? The guy was called Augustus Pinochet. In a few years ago, this guy was in London, and suddenly the rat-a-tat start on his hotel room, and he was subsequently arrested by the United Kingdom authorities for atrocities that he committed in the country or in his country. So nobody is above the law here, and certainly not some random guy from Anambra State. So this cryptic messaging now, where is it messaging to? Sometimes as humans, we make mistakes, but I will never knowingly break any law. So that is signaling a defense to information that is about to come. And I am positing that this information that Peter Obi seems to be living in mortal fear of, the information that Peter Obi is seeming to be living in mortal fear of, for him to be sending these cryptic excuses and forward defense. Sometimes as humans, we make mistakes, but I will never knowingly break any law. These are events to come that Peter Obi is living in mortal fear of, was the reason, or rather is the reason that he was arrested and detained in the United Kingdom. So sometimes as humans, we make mistakes, but I will never knowingly break any law. I am, therefore, not afraid of the lies and propaganda against my person. They are part of the journey to a new Nigeria. So there is Peter Obi right there, putting forward his defense before events to come. So what that is signaling then is that something big and seismic is coming. And I am positing that his arrest and detention, we're still not clear, by the way, because the pictures have not come out. If Peter Obi was put in handcuffs in Heathrow Airport, we don't know if he was put in handcuffs or not, but we do know he was arrested and detained. But I'm positing that the what underpins this cryptic messaging that he has put out to his adherents on Twitter is events to come, and I am positing that those events to come are the reasons why he was arrested and detained in the United Kingdom. So once again, sometimes as humans, we make mistakes, but I will never knowingly break any law. I am, therefore, not afraid of the lies and propaganda against my person. They are part of the journey to a new Nigeria. Recall that Peter Obi recently reported having been arrested in the United Kingdom by immigration officials. The details of his arrest in the United Kingdom have remained shrouded in speculation, and he has kept mute on the event that led to his arrest. So he can keep as mute as he likes, but I'm pretty sure that Lai Mohammed already has all of the details of exactly why Anambra Born was arrested in the United Kingdom. So there it is right there. So let me show you this before I go to the next readout. Just to really verify, as Peter Obi likes to fondly and much to his chagrin say, go and verify. So let's verify then. So this now that I've read you out is not anything made up by anybody. This is on Peter Obi's verified Twitter handle. Sometimes as humans, we make mistakes, etc., etc. So this is from his verified Twitter handle. So that is Peter Obi putting his hands up before the crime committed has even been made public yet. So still staying with Peter Obi and crimes committed, here, this next one now, you may well describe as a crime against humanity. And if you describe it as a crime against humanity, then you will get no pushback from me. But is this a crime against humanity? This is from Charles Soludo's verified Twitter handle. Well, it is true that I said during the debate that, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, poverty in Anambra actually grew from less than 25% in 2005 to about 53% under Peter Obi in 2010-2011, but fell under Willie Obiano to 14.78% in 2020. So now, look, because this is a space that we've argued endlessly on this platform, that Peter Obi was a categorical failure in Anambra State, and all of the evidence and accounts of his administration of that state indicates to that. We've cited so many examples how he was looting hand over fist the economy of that state, which he should be in jail for by now, because I've often said, and I'm waiting for somebody to come and contradict me, that of all of the front runners, Tinubu, Atiku, Kwakwanso, and Peter Obi is the most evidentially indictable because the crimes that he committed, they're so easily evidenced. Is it the 500 million and naira that he stole from local government local government purses when he was administering Anambra State that the Lagos State Police Commissioner caught him with in raw cash in his house and at Aerodrome Road in Apapa? That is documented. You don't have to just Google July 20, just Google it, it's all there. So is it that raw cash, 500 million that is stole as far back as 2007 thereabout in raw cash? Is it the monies that he was investing, state monies in his company owned, with the directors being his family, including his wife? So all of that is the most evidentially indictable. But even though he was corrupt, which every Nigerian governor is, but the more damning thing is that he ran that state to the ground. And this is what Soludo is telling us. It says, well, it is true that I said during the debate that according to the National Bureau of Statistics, poverty in Anambra actually grew from less than 25% in 2005 to about 53% under Peter Obi in 2010-2011, but fell under Willie Obiano to 14.78% in 2020. So Peter Obi, during his administration, actually over doubled the poverty index of Anambra State from less than 25% when he took over to over 53% during his administration. Soludo continues, yes, poverty more than doubled under Peter Obi, and more than 50% of Indi Anambra were in poverty under him. Go and verify. I am governor and sitting on privileged information, which I will not use, which I will not want to use against a political opponent. So there it is right there, and there it is right there. So, I mean, I'm not sure how much more we can flog this guy before we have to say, I just dropped the dead donkey. So drop the dead donkey. When I go around saying that Peter Obi is a hardened criminal, it is not me just throwing acerbic remarks in the direction of the guy, but really just stating facts as they obtain. So stating facts as they obtain. So as we continue to state facts, as they obtain, let me show you a couple of data which will just document some of the narratives that we've been contending with within the Nigerian space. So let me remove this and bring up another. So let me remove this. So often instances, you hear a lot that the Southeasterners sustain the Lagos economy, that if they pull out of Lagos, Lagos will crash, that the Yorubas are too lazy and too busy drinking, and if Igbo money pulls out of Lagos, Lagos will become a third world country. So that is one narrative, emotion-led, but the statistics do not bear that out. Look at this. This is from STATISTIC. So this is STATISTIC. This is a number crunching, data-led organization that condenses all of the data and figures within the Nigerian space to give us a presentation. And this is what they present, STATISTIC. So this is what STATISTIC is telling us. It says location of business enterprises as at 2020. So the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, what level of business activities are going on within them? Locations of business enterprises are 2020. So no surprises to the people that have a brain, but certainly to confound the brainless, the Southwest, of course, has the highest amount of business activities going on because it's a land of fat and honey and a land of brainy people. So this, you can see it on your screen, by the way, and I'll post the link in the comment section as well. So these are locations of business enterprises as at 2020, according to STATISTIC. So Southwest leads the field, of course, are 277,270 business enterprises going on within the Southwest. So closely followed, of course, by the Northwest, because you have to understand that Kano is the hub of our business activities. If you take the gold souks in Kano And the hide, I'm talking about raw hide, leather economy alone in Kano, leaving out the agriculture, that is already greater than the economy of the average African country. So, of course, the Northwest comes in second. So, Southwest first, 277,270 business enterprises going on in Yoruba land. The Northwest, 254,668 business activities going on. The South, surprisingly, 220,765. The North Central, even more surprising. You think all they do there is to bow their heads to their gods and sing Kumbaya. But they don't. But apart from bowing their heads to their gods and sing Kumbaya, they also carry on business in the North Central. North Central, 218,441. The Northeast comes in. You didn't even think anything goes on there apart from just Abubakar rolling his sheep and cattle up and down the road. But apparently that is sufficient enough of an economy. Northeast, 157,317. So now the Southeast, who a lot of people often concede business to within the Nigerian space, but our business, according to statistics, is not actually considered to the Southeast because of the 6 geopolitical zones. And I'll copy this link, by the way, put it in the comment section so no one has to take my word for anything. Of the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, the least space that business is going on in Nigeria is the Southeast. 112,508. Actually, I'm going to post that link now in the comment section because this runs completely contrary to the hoo-ha and the hoopla that we hear from the usual empty head spaces. So this runs. This is figures, by the way, not empty-headed noise. So these are statistical figures. So still with statistical figures and still coming from STATISTIC. Let me bring you, still within the same parameters, by the way, but let me bring you this as well. So let me bring you this as well, still from the same stable, STATISTIC. So this is what STATISTIC is telling us. Top 10 locations of business enterprises 2020. So they've given us the 6 geopolitical regions and how they break down in terms of business activities. So now they are now narrowing it down, they're boring it down into states and which states has the most business activities. So no surprises, of course, Lagos State, you'd have that expectation. So in terms of business and enterprises, business going on which are registered in Lagos and thriving, 91,097. River State comes second, 84,613. So you have to consider that. So you have to consider that there's oil wealth there. So that might well account for the economy a lot of River State. 84,613. So that's business going on in River State. In Kano State, no surprises because Kano is the business hub of the North. 79,328 businesses going on. Ogun State, 49,813 business enterprises. Katsina, surprisingly, you'll think it's just some dusty backwater with Abubakar and Mukhtar. But Abubakar and Mukhtar comes in at number 6, 44,103 business going on in Katsina State. Kwara State, 42,561. Delta State, 40,210. Kaduna, who you would have expected to come just after Kano, with the size and what we thought was the size of the economy. But Kaduna comes in at number 9 at 38,908. The Federal Capital Territory, for reasons, of course, of being governance, are located there, 38,003. But no southeastern state amongst the top 10 business spaces within the Nigerian state. So let me copy that as well. It's just really to debunk a lot of these empty-headed noises that we hear all over the space. So here it is again. And the counter argument, of course, the Southeast usually run their businesses outside of the Southeast because there's no real wealth to be garnered from there. So that's the counter narrative to that. So let me see, should I bring you one more? Because I don't want this to be a long session because we will be having another session later on in the day. So it's the reintroduction of the two sessions that we used to traditionally have. So let me just play you now this micro clip. And as I bring in the people that have joined us, Michael joins us, the majestic Ajanle Koko and Gideon from Benin. But ladies and gentlemen, let me play you this clip as we get into the throes of it. This is Peter Obi in his latest media output.
And as far as every issue is concerned,
I tell them to remain calm. It is the same enemies that are fighting us that are fighting the party. It is for us. It's not going to be easy. From day one, I said it's not going to be an easy fight. They're trying to remove all those who have lived off this confusion for years. They're not going to go away laughing. They're going to fight back. It will take time. Whatever happens, we must stay the course because we want to build a new Nigeria. We want a Nigeria where Nigerians will be proud to say they're Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, committed Nigeria. I don't have any dual nationality. So this is my own country. And I've said it that even if there's war outside this country, if I'm outside, I'll come back because it's my country. So I'm committed to it, and I want them to be committed for it. It is those people that are fighting us collectively who win.
Well, Your Excellency, concerning the embattled national chairman, would you say that you recognize him as the chairman, irrespective of what the court has actually said recently?
I'm not the. Remember what I said. The case is in court. I have to respect that, but it remains my own man.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So that was Peter Obi speaking to a lot of matters. And one of the things that he was speaking to, one of the things that he said there was that he doesn't have dual nationality, which is a poke in the direction of Tinubu, who a lot of people, of course, Guinea something that David Udenyi has put in the public space. So let's have a look at that because they've now been trolling the archives and they've come up with this, the obedient space. So watch this.
Appelle-moi, DTO. Appelle-moi Souma. Souma. Tiens, donne-lui ça. Donne-lui ça, lui de remettre à Mara.
Avion est filmé. Est-ce qu'on donne la photo là? Ah, non, l'offre pratique.
Abseni.
Ok, ils ne vont pas aux mêmes endroits.
Allez, Kader qui descend. Il y a notre hélicoptère. Le deuxième est parti aussi. Le deuxième est parti. Hein?
C'est bon, vous n'avez pas... Non, carré disponible.
Thank you.
All right. Let me just mute Babati for a moment. All right. What you could see there was the unmistakable image of Tinubu, and also you could spot Sanwo-Olu in that clip. So in that clip, of course, that was what has been put forward by the obedient space as Tinubu being afforded the presidential facilities in Guinea Bissau or Guinea Conakry or whatever Guinea is, which is to enhance that storyline that they are developing, that Tinubu is not actually from Nigeria, but is from Guinea. So they continue to pursue that. And in pursuit of that, the acerbic remark that you heard from Peter Obi, that he doesn't have dual nationality. So that was a throw. That was putting fertilizer and watering that storyline to try and germinate it. We all know how Peter Obi is like, always a mischief maker. But then what particularly struck me is that he said he doesn't have dual nationality. But a lot of people know that this guy carries a British passport. He has a British citizenship by way of the longevity of his stay here. And during that period, he acquired British citizenship. So I've set people on the search, and people within the hearing of this broadcast, if you are able to get there before my people to bring us that proof of Peter Obi's British citizenship. So he has said categorically, and I've captured and saved it, that it doesn't have a dual nationality, but we know for a fact that it does. So there it is, Peter Obi, forever and ever the mischief maker. So let's kick the conversation on and kick it off with Babati, who joins us under a funky new name. What's the new name about, Babati?
One man, don't worry about that.
Look at that.
But by the way, who is BTI or whatever? This is video. I don't know who you're talking
also, sorry, you know me now. I'm dyslexic. But
good morning, by the way. Well, I'm so happy that you brought back the morning drive.
Yes,
it's more, it's less rowdy in the morning session. So glad that you brought this back. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. So to it and to the conversation, we cannot escape him for the moment, but hopefully we will escape him to speak about serious matters very shortly. But we're still with Peter Obi, who now puts out this cryptic message. We struck, is asking more questions than is answering the Peter Obi thing. So he's put it out in the public space that he would never knowingly break any law. So he has put this out just off the cusp of him being arrested and detained in London. So is this the preparation for a soft landing, as the reasons why he was actually arrested and detained in London breaks?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. I thank you for the question. This Peter Obi space just will not go away, will it? It just keeps giving us juicy stories to talk about. I was expecting him to be honest and direct about what really transpired at the airport, but I don't think he's fully disclosed what really happened. Right? I've yet to read any reports of what really happened. So him saying that he doesn't have British passport, I mean, he's a smart man. So if he's saying that, I will take him at his word for now. If anybody has anything to the contrary, they can bring it out. But if he says it's not, and he knows that everybody's watching his moves, I want to believe that he is truly not a British citizen until anybody proves otherwise. But this thing is fast turning into something else, because one man I was just thinking about the other day. I mean, Tinubu not Obi himself, but his people are saying that Tinubu is from Guinea, right? And they say Guinea citizen. We've alleged that Tinubu Atiku is from Cameroon. You said the Mauritanian. So who are the real Nigerians really running for office at this point? Since we have all these foreigners now running to become, I mean, at some point, who are the Nigerians?
We're being recolonized this time by Africans.
They have all these Africans all over the place. Who are the real Nigerians actually running for office? And now we have this one from the UK now. He says he's a British citizen now. So who are the real Nigerians actually running for office? We don't know. But on the more serious note, one man, when Tinubu won, I said on this platform that I was hoping that Obi would be very reasonable, and for the sake of the unity of Nigeria, that it will try to calm down his people. And I think I was wrong.
Do you think actually, to the contrary, he seems to be stoking them up even more?
Yes.
Yeah.
He just like by not even speaking, he knows what he's doing. Like he's just edging them on, flaming that fire behind the scenes. That way, you cannot really accuse him of being at the edge, at the first center of it. So it would just put some cryptic things out there and let that seed grow. That way, it's not directly attributed to him, but he knows what he's doing. And when he said, "Well, I don't have dual citizenship," you know who he was referring to, right? So he's also feeding that narrative, right, of the Guinean thing, which to me is very irresponsible. As a leader of the country, until you see proof, because he said a case was in court. Yes, so you should know better as a leader. Until that passport that was shown a few weeks ago online of Tinubu can be proven.
Babati, please give it to Obi, give it to him.
No. Sorry, the afternoon session is usually a more mellow session. Emmanuel, right. Carry on, Babati.
So yeah. Until that can be proven as very factual, I think it's irresponsible of him to have made that statement. And I do agree with you, one man. He's stoking that flame for his own political gains. He's always done that. They called him an opportunist, and he's clearly behaving like one at this point. One man.
All right, brilliant, Babati. So facts and fallacy are always two different things, but often instances, the fallacious made-up narratives, the fantasy, often travels a lot further than the facts. So we've always been led to believe that within the Nigerian space, that we concede business and enterprise to the southeast, but the statistics don't tell us that. So this is from STATISTIC, which is the number crunching body organization within the Nigerian space. They just look at raw data and collate it together for a presentation. So according to them, the location of business enterprises as at 2020, with the latest figures available, are southwest, north central, south-south, southwest, northwest, south-south, north central, northeast, and the southeast. So the southeast comes at the bottom in business enterprise amongst the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. And then if you go to when they broke it down to states, Lagos State at the top of the pyramid, they gave us the top 10, Lagos State at the top of the pyramid, the FCT Abuja at the bottom. No southeastern state actually made the top 10. So does this run contrary to the popularly held belief that enterprise belongs to the southeast?
Yes, one man. It's always been mind-boggling how they've been able to control that narrative for years, and people have just let them. They've of course they're partly responsible for helping other places grow. I mean, in terms of, but those spaces also provide the hub for you to grow your business, right? So, but it's been mind-boggling that over the years we've allowed them to control that narrative. I don't mean it in a very fictitious way. I'm just looking at data now, because people look at it's like me looking at a big market now and say, well, this particular tribe has 400% or 100% of the market, so therefore they control the market. That is not how it works. Where did they take the money that they're buying from? Who is the one shipping the goods to them? So if you look at even Lagos, the banking industry, transport services for goods and services, it's not as largely as the way it's been marketed to people. So I think they've controlled that narrative for so long, and I think that people need to provide more data like the one you provided this morning and do breakdown. If you can find one that talks about the actual sectors, those key sectors in the economy, where we can actually track who controls what. And I'm sure they'll be surprised that who really runs who. I was even surprised. I was reading the data. Somebody was shooting the data recently, talking about the North. One man actually has one of the biggest share, like in terms of investment in Lagos. Is actually from Northerners. No,
the highest investors in Lagos are the Northerners, and then the second was the Yorubas, and then the third is the South, where the oil comes from, and then number 4 is the Southeast. So I'm not quite sure where they get all the noise that they make.
Right, but the narrative of what I'm hoping that they control Lagos and they do this and that. I'm like, having some shop somewhere does not mean you control the business. That's not the way it works. So I'm glad you brought the data out. We need to bring more of them out and do. Maybe when you have your statisticians out here, we can do state by state breakdown of business in each state, and we can look at the data. It's something that I will be up for to even study and contribute my own quarter to that kind of discussion, because things like this we need to really discuss it. Not because I'm trying to be facetious or anybody, but we just need to know this kind of data, woman.
All right, brilliant. Still speaking about matters data, there is nobody in Nigeria more data-led than Charles Soludo. So you remember he wrote an essay just a few months ago, a couple of months ago, that shook the political space. And in that essay, he titled it XYZ Part 1, which is to tell you that there's Part 2 to come. So is serving us now the aperitif of the Part 2 to come. So Charles Soludo comes out on his Twitter space, Babati. He says, well, it is true that I said during that debate, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, poverty in Anambra actually grew from less than 25% in 2005 to about 53% under Peter Obi in 2010-2011, but fell under Willie Obiano to 14.78% in 2020. Yes, poverty grew more than double under Peter Obi, and more than 50% of Indi Anambra were in poverty under him. Go and verify. I am governor and sitting on privileged information, which I will not want to use against a political opponent. So it looks as though then Charles Soludo is cocking his gun in readiness for the next salvo of his back and forth with what's it called, Anambra Bond. So what are you then making of Charles Soludo? Facts again over fallacy and made up narratives. Babati.
Woman, you know what? On a more serious note, when this thing is over, somebody at the university has to study the Obi campaign and Obi himself, how he has been able to manipulate people. I mean, I'm telling you, somebody has to study the obedient movement. Like when this is over, this needs to be studied, because when you present facts and you have a sitting governor actually giving you fact to buttress his point, and people turn a blind eye to it, to see support somebody that at this point, even giving him D or D minus when he was a governor, it's just been nice to put it mildly, to be honest with you. I mean, Soludo's point I get. I get this point. Maybe the timing was wrong, because it might be seen as a political attack against his own so-called brother from the same part of the country during the elections. But everything is said, I don't think any reasonable individual would disagree. And I've always told my friends from the Southeast, you're going to have to play this game the way the Southwest played it. Falaye was our choice. Obide was the compromise. Peter B is your choice. You have to find an Igbo person, man or woman, that is more appealing to other parts of the country. That's the reality. You cannot have an Igbo-centric, I don't care what he says, he's an Igbo-centric candidate. Once again, Olufalaye was the Yoruba's choice. OBJ was the compromise. Peter Obi is your choice from the East. You give us somebody that we can work with. And I've always said, the most appealing individual from the Southeast, as of now, it might change in the next few years, I don't know. But the individual that appeals most to everybody in Nigeria, I mean, to most non-Igbos, that is from the Southeast, in my mind, is Soludo. You have to then do what the Yoruba did. Go behind the scenes, sitting down, and tell him what you want or what your plans are. These deals have to be made behind the scenes. You cannot come online or on TV or making deals with your leaders. It doesn't work that way. You have to learn how to play the game behind the scenes. Soludo is the man, to be honest with you, one man. That is the man I believe that they should be rallying around, even if it's not in front of the cameras, behind the scenes. He's the most appealing Igbo individual that I think people will vote for across board. So until they learn to play that game the way it's always been played, they will never have an Igbo president. So I don't disagree with what Soludo said. I don't disagree. But once again, how Obi has been able to capture the minds and hearts of people needs to be studied and needs to be researched at the university level. I'm being this woman. I don't know.
Yeah. But the way it's captured it, I think we all know really. It is rich to that primal instinct of ethnic and tribe, which is what is galvanized. That's just it, isn't it?
Right,
really?
but
primal instincts.
Yeah, but it's wanting to capture that, but to be able to sustain the momentum is what I'm really amazed by. I was thinking at some point it will fizzle out, but it appears to still have the same stride. Like it's still going. Like there's no slowing down. The momentum is still there. So how it's been able to not only capture the heart of minds of that people, I would say exploit that. I said it's exploiting the fault lines of Nigeria, that culture and religious space, that fault lines of Nigeria. Is exploiting it for its own political gain. I know that, but it's wanting to exploit that. It's another thing to be able to sustain that momentum as well. So that's what I think needs to be studied. But I'm not buying this campaign. At some point, people should see between the lines. They're not there yet. I'm there. But I think once again, you have to be compromised. It's a game of interest, one man, right? It's a game of interest. Your own version of the truth might not be mine. You need to learn how to play with others. They remind me of a kid in the playground that cannot play with other kids or won't share his own toy. So that's what the issue that they're having. I won't call it a cultural problem. I've heard people have that debate on your platform. I won't go that far. But I think that they've not been exposed, maybe due to the civil war. I don't know, but there seems to be this disconnect between them and the way politics really works in Nigeria. And until they can figure that out and learn that it's a game of interest, that you want something from me, you want my vote, you have to appeal to me, to my own interest, until you can. And like I've said, the best individual right now that I know from that part of the country is Soludo. Love him or hate him as a people individual, you must learn to work with people that you disagree with for the greater good. That would be my personal woman.
All right, brilliant, Babati. So, and to the to the clip that has just been released by the Obedient Space, showing Tinubu in the presidential helicopter of Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, whatever that country is called, right. To enhance then that Photoshop imagery that David Udengi put out just a few days ago. So do you think that space has any traction, or do you think it's just a new depth in this fallacious narrative that we become used to by these people?
No, actually, one man, you might be surprised with my response. It does, actually, to be honest with you. It does. It does. First of all, I want to know the year that video was. I don't know, maybe they tag it with a. Do you know what year that recording happened? Do you know what year?
I don't know, but with Sanwo-Olu in the image as well, I think we can date it with somewhat at least, yeah.
So I'm not saying it's true, but it's something that we should at least consider investigating, because that is a very serious allegation to make. Because now you're talking about, on one of your shows, I jokingly put in a super chat talking about they've turned Tinubu into what's the name of this show? The guy with the black hat.
Is it Zoro or something? That's
there's this guy, Blacklist, the Blacklist guy, one of these famous American TV shows, where he's walking around with one fictitious name, but he has all these ties. You don't want a president that can be blackmailed if he truly has ties to the mob, because this is mob that they're discussing now. So if he truly has ties to the mob and is really involved in this case, like they allege, then they're going to hold Nigeria hostage. He's going to be blackmailed into doing things that will not be in favor of Nigeria. So I'm not saying it's true, but if somebody pulls down this witty allegation like this, I mean, this is a very serious allegation. So I'm not saying it's true or not, but I'm not going to dismiss it, because now this is again national security issue. Drugs is not something that you play with. So if this is, I'm not saying it's true. but it's what at least looking into just to make sure that is not what they're claiming it is. Because if it is true, then this is terrible. This is bad for the country. This is bad for the image of the country. You don't want that. So I'm not saying that it's true, but I'm hoping that it's not. But we cannot dismiss the allegation, one man. We cannot dismiss it.
All right, brilliant. Somebody's coming with the name Raymond Reddington. Is that the name you were after?
Yeah, that's
Raymond,
it. They've turned Tinubu into Raymond Reddington. That's the word. Like, he comes around walking around with a different name. So, but we cannot. I hope it's not true, one man. But I think that we should allow them at least present their facts, and let's see where it goes from there. But let's not be dismissive of what they're saying.
All right, it's only really going by their antecedents, coming up with all these fallacious. You know, you are judged by your history, aren't you? But these people, they just make up so many, brain numbing.
You know, they say a dead clock is right twice a day, right? So you never know. Yeah. So let's. But I'm hoping that I will take the right with you, whatever, the certificate, whatever. But a drug, no. I hope that is not true. I hope not. But at least let's give them the chance to present their own fact or their own evidence. So if it's a very certain allegation, then we have the government look into it. But for the sake of the country, I hope not.
All right, brilliant to upload. Brilliant to upload. Stay steady, Babati. The majestic Alexander Gomez joins us. So, Alexander, one of your rare appearances. So, we're reintroducing the afternoon sessions to go back to where we were before. Alexander, good to see you.
That's good. That's good. Then I'm awake and I can sound livelier than I would otherwise. I was surprised when I saw your notification. I thought it was one of those reruns, but I'm happy you're back in your morning, doing your morning sessions again. That's are you still going to be doing the evening sessions?
Yes, but it's not going to be as long and heavy as it usually is. So the evening session will be about 4 or 5 hours, unless Thomas comes in to take it to wherever he takes it to. So that's the plan now. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're still with the old stomping grounds. We cannot seem to escape the Obi Tinubu back and forth. We're still not at the phase of discussing what Tinubu's administration would look like. We're still fighting the elections. But Peter Obi now, cause for worry. I would never knowingly do anything criminal. So a cryptic messaging to his adherents on Twitter off the back of his arrest and detention in London. People speculate, Alexander.
Yeah, I was reading that this morning about an hour ago, and obviously there's an indictment there, isn't there? There's an admission of guilt, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly. I feel sorry for the man. I think that I don't think he realizes what it takes to, or what it is to want to be the president of the largest Black country in the world. We as Nigerians, I don't think we understand how important that country is in the community of nations. I think that's the problem, especially the generation that I refer to as the Babangida generation. I know that in my younger days, when Nigeria was at its was powerful, it was one of the top 10 countries in the world. So we've had bad leadership, and we've got into a place where we've become the joke of the world. But it doesn't take away the fact that that's a very, very powerful country. And when you come and want to become the president of Nigeria, you need to be able to be mentally ready for whatever comes your way. Like Tinubu is going through what he's going through right now. All kinds of information will come out about you. And like Jale Koko, who appears to know that space much better than I do, I hear that the same thing happened to Obasanjo when he was going to be the president of Nigeria. So I feel sorry for the man. I don't. You use the word deportation. I don't think deportation is the right word to use. I think you meant refused entry deportation, you have to be in the country, and the court has to.
No, it was in Heathrow now. So if it was first,
that will not be a deport. That will not.
No, if it was it would be if it was forcibly removed from Heathrow, then it was deported, surely.
But the thing about it is that he did attend a function that day. He went to a church service, and that was apparently the primary reason why he wanted to go to the United Kingdom. They were opening a Catholic church in London, and he wanted to be part of the gathering, and that's apparently why he went to England. So apparently, from high sources, I heard that he did attend that. We don't know what transpired, but for someone who could potentially be the president of Nigeria, I think we need to know what actually went wrong. I'm not sure we will, but it would be nice for us to know what actually transpired. I don't necessarily subscribe to the excuses given as to someone trying to clone my name and using my name, identity theft and things like that. I don't subscribe to that. I think it's something deeper than that. But we will find out sooner or later.
Do you think it's cryptic Twitter message that came out today? Do you think it's speaking in that direction? Because it's quite a peculiar sort of message that sits outside of what it traditionally. It says, "I would never knowingly break the law."
Yes.
Which is to suggest that a law had been broken somewhere.
It's a coded message. Yes. You are right. I that kind of took me by surprise. He has committed a crime. He will face the law eventually, because according to, like you used the word cryptic, that might be what's going on here. There's an investigation going on. It's not the end of the story. So that space is still open to different interpretations. But from the message he gave out today, it is definitely an ongoing thing. And we will see what happens at the end of the day.
Yeah, a lot of the circumstances around his arrest in the United Kingdom are still very much shrouded in mystery. A lot unknown more than a lot that is known. The pictures have not even come out to let us know if or not they put him in handcuff when they effected his arrest. Do we know if they handcuffed him or not?
No, I think that's pushing the imagination a bit too far. I don't think they would have handcuffed him. But I don't buy this idea that Nigerians try to intervene. I don't know how people can be so wishy-washy to say that the British immigration is trying to arrest you or detain you, and you as a Nigerian will come and try and defend. Are we in Ujuelegba market now? Are we in Songo or Ta market or whatever? It doesn't work like that. Like you rightly said, you're just going to call them aside and say, "Sir, can you come along with us?" And they will do whatever they want to do. You won't even know what's going on. So I don't buy all that story. So it is ongoing. They're investigating him. He has committed a crime, knowingly or unknowingly, but ignorance is no excuse in law, like they say. So we will see what will transpire. I feel sorry for him. Someone I like a lot. Does he have the wherewithal, the mental capacity to rule over or govern over a country like Nigeria? No, definitely not. But I think he has a lot to contribute. I think he could be made a minister of sorts or something like that. But to be president of Nigeria, no. That's totally different ballgame. In Nigeria today, without bias, I think the one person that readily comes to mind that could turn the fortunes of the country around is Tinubu, because he's done it in the largest economy. He's done it in the 5th largest economy in Africa. And like my brother Tunde would say, let us see him play that on the national level. So I'm hoping for the best. But the problem with Tinubu is that it's so controversial. We don't know where he was born. We don't know his classmates. Now he has diplomatic passport. Why does this man behave like this? A typical almost Saleko person. All kinds of controversies. This is a big deal. I hope he's able to get away, because apparently I hear that Obasanjo is really not in favor of him becoming the president of Nigeria. I don't know whether all this is coming from Obasanjo. I don't know. Pure speculation. But let's see how it goes. But I know that he will bring the much needed wherewithal that the country needs. And like I said, and I keep on saying, that almost Saleko thing, that let us leave that in Lagos and Lagos Island. We go to the national space. Let us represent our people well. Let us prove to the average Nigerian that yes, truly, statistically, Yoruba people are the best administrators in Nigeria and by extension Africa. So I know he can do it, but this controversy makes me very uncomfortable. But let's see how it goes.
All right. So you speak to controversies surrounding Tinubu, but a lot of these controversies, a lot of people will suggest that they are just contrived. Certainly, the latest one is this so-called passport that has been put forward by one of Peter Obi's surrogate, David Udeye, who has put up this rather Photoshop-looking sort of a passport that he's now selling all over social media. So that passport now, the obedience space are now fertilizing it to try and see if it blossoms. So a video clip now comes out of Tinubu in a presidential helicopter in Guinea, Conakry, which is to enhance then that storyline that has been created by the Obi surrogate David Udeye. So this storyline now, are we in a new depth of ridiculousness with this storyline, or is this something that just should be dismissed out of hand? And do you even think the effort should be made to speak in that direction at all? Because it is almost with certainty by next week they'll come up with something a bit even more fantastic.
I don't know. The whole thing is shrouded in secrecy. I don't know. Bola Tinubu is not someone. He's a mafia. He's done. He's mastered what he does. So I'm not going to put anything past Tinubu. I think David Udine, however way you pronounce his name, I hear he's a Lagosian. I think it's one. That name sounds like a Negu name.
Badagry.
Yeah, Badagry. Yeah, Ife's people. So I don't. I'm not going to rule it out completely as to whether he has a Guinean passport or not. I used to have a Ghanaian passport, and I have no ounce of Ghanaian blood in me. So it depends on the kind of contact you have. Whether he has a Guinean passport or not is neither here nor there. But I don't know how the Nigerian state is going to take that. Let's see how that plays out. He does have a Guinean passport. He is a diplomat of the Guinea Republic. I hear he's personal friends with the president of Guinea. Whether the incumbent or former, I don't know. But like someone said on this platform yesterday, Tinubu is a well-connected individual and a world personality. That's why he's been voted one of the top 100 most influential people in the world. So I'm not going to rule out whether he does have a Guinean passport or not. I'm sure he does have it. It's not a big deal. If you're connected, you can have any passport you want to have. I mean, it's all a matter of status, isn't it? So the way Nigerians are taking it, maybe because the Constitution frowns at it, maybe that's the reason why it's become a big deal, because it's constitutionally unallowed to have dual national. And essentially, when he was filling his form to be the president of Nigeria, he did not declare that he had another citizenship. So those are all the legal ramifications that someone like Ogbeni would have to talk about.
Would you be surprised if Peter Obi does not have a British passport, having lived here for over 10 decades in his formative years?
I would be. But why would he want to go to England with a Nigerian passport when he has a British passport? Have you asked yourself that question?
Well, for reasons of his political position at the moment.
I don't know. I'm sure he does have a, but you see, You see, what I've noticed, one man, and you can correct me. I left England almost 20 years ago. I think it's become rather easy for people to become. In my days, growing up there, it was a big deal having a British passport. It was a big deal, unless, of course, you were born over there like you and I. It becomes your birthright. I think the citizenship of the United Kingdom now has become what it is in America, where you have a green card. After 5 years, you apply for citizenship and they give it to you. It wasn't like that in my days in England. It was much tougher than that. So I would not necessarily say that I'd be surprised that he might not have a British passport, because he lived in England in the 90s. I was there in the 90s. Things have changed considerably now. Whether he has a British passport or not, I don't know. Because back then, when he was living there, Britain wasn't as lenient as it is today. So maybe he
was a man of wealth then, though, and you know,
but still,
Britain always they always
but
yield.
it was still a process. It wasn't as easy as the United States. You still have to go through some processes to get it. And some people, my wife had a green card for a long time because she didn't think that she needed to be an American citizen. So some people are like that. Maybe in as much as he had the status and he knew that he was a multimillionaire, he didn't see a reason why he had to have a British passport. I don't know. I'm speculating.
All right, I'm having that investigated at the moment. So if he has a British passport, I'm going to flush it out. But I'm having that investigated. Just finally, Alexander. So facts over fiction. This is where we are now. Facts over fiction. So the popularly held belief was that if you talk about business in Nigeria, you talk about the Southeast. But the statistics do not lend anything at all to that. So we have an organization called STATISTIC, who are just from the clue of the name, they are entirely and essentially about the data and the statistics. So they've released statistics now to tell us where business is conducted within the Nigerian space. The topmost, the Southwest, but at the bottom of the list in the geopolitical zones are the Southeast. So does this run contrary then? And if you go by state, there is no southeastern state that is represented as amongst the top 10 business destinations in Nigeria. So does this run contrary to the popularly held belief that the Southeast controls business in Nigeria?
Well, I can tell you, I know that space very well, and I have huge investments over there. That it will be a fallacy to say that there's a huge investment in the Southeast. Igbo people making money in Nigeria, and quite a lot of them who are extremely successful have their investments outside of the Southeast, essentially in Abuja and Lagos. They really don't have anything in the Southeast. Because like I said to you, I always talk to Ajale Koko because we're practically in the same age range. Although I'm older than Ajale Koko, but we're practically in the same age range. That the disposable income of the average Southeasterner doesn't encourage you to go set up businesses in the Southeast. So if you have a business where you want to go set up a business in the Southeast, I think that your rate of income would decline because of disposable income, and that's why the multimillionaires and the billionaires in Igbo land essentially are Lagos, Abuja, and Kano. So I'm not surprised. I know that space well, all the way from Onitsha to Umahia. I know that space very well. So I'm not surprised. They tell me that 2 and 2 is 4. So I'm not really surprised about that. And what they said is totally accurate. Yeah, the Igbo people are wonderful business people. But the generation of wealth is from outside the Southeast, not the Southeast. I totally agree with that woman.
All right, brilliant, Wapo. So brilliant, Wapo. So thank you, Alexander. So
thank you for having me.
Oh, all right, thank you, Alexander. Thank you for turning up. So that was Alexander Gomez. So let's go from Alexander to Michael, who joins us. So Michael, you are up next. So Michael, are you ready to go, Michael? Michael, I'm not going to attempt your last name because I'm going to just destroy it. So Michael, there's only one Michael on the screen. Oh, all right, Michael is not ready yet. Let's try Gideon. Gideon, are you ready? Oh, all right. This afternoon session.
Good afternoon.
Salam alaikum. How about it?
Alaikum salam.
Alaikum
salam.
Look at that. You're a Christian and a Muslim, both in the same whatever. We do. Now, still Peter Obi matter. We still do. In the talk for Twitter. In the talk for Twitter, say it says I will never knowingly break any law. So in the talk, say it will not on purpose break a law. So that is to suggest then that a law has been broken. So we're speculating then that where did he break this law? We know that he was arrested and detained in London, and I think the information.
I beg. I'll come back. Go to another person.
All right, thank you, Gideon. So let me try Michael again, and if Michael is not there, then I have to say goodbye till the next time. So Michael, are you there? All right, thank you, Michael. All right, thank you, Michael. Let's go then from Michael to Ajanle Koko, who joins us. So Ajanle Koko, you're up next.
Hey, Wama.
Hey, Ajanle Koko, good to have you. So we've reintroduced the afternoon sessions, only really to then land on the Peter Obi space again. So what Peter Obi then is saying on his Twitter handle is that he would not knowingly break any law. And we know that he was arrested in the United Kingdom. So there's the speculation then that he's preempting then the release of the information that led to his arrest in the United Kingdom. Ajanle Koko.
Yeah, thank you, man. Greetings to our listeners around the world. Click on the like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so. That statement sound like a person that is admitting that he has done something wrong and that he did not do it intentionally. That's the way that statement sounds to me. He's admitting he has done something wrong. However, he didn't do it intentionally. So,
Ajanle Koko, we're losing you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes, a little bit better, but keep trying.
Yeah, I'm driving. That's why.
I know. We know you're driving.
Can you hear? Is it better now?
Not especially, no. But carry on. Maybe we'll get better. Carry on.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm sounding good where I am.
A bit better. Carry on. Yeah.
Better. Okay. So what I'm saying is that that statement sounds like an admittance of a wrongdoing. He's admitting that he has done something wrong, but he's begging for forgiveness that he didn't do it. He didn't commit that offense intentionally. He did it unknowingly. He didn't know that is contrary to the law. So, you see, 3 days ago, I was calling on this platform that Obi have to come out clean as a potential president in Nigeria. He needs to come out clean to address us, the people, on what really happened to him at Heathrow Airport. He doesn't have to hide anything from us right now, because whoever that is aspiring to be leader of the people, when an incident like this happened to him, have to quickly address the press and tell the people, this is what happened to me. This is what I did. This is what happened. And then they can put himself the position in the right perspective before the people, and will not give room for speculation. But for him to keep quiet and not saying anything, but for only to come out with a tweet that sounds admittance of wrongdoing with respect to what happened to him at Heathrow Airport, I think it should come out better with a clear position on what really happened to him. So I think we have to continue to come out better on what really happened to him. So in my conclusion, that's that he did something wrong. It's slowly admitted in the public. That we have stand to one man.
All right, brilliant. So, by the way, Ajale Koko, the signal is still not 100%, but we can make out what you're saying. But let's make out what you're saying on this. Statistics released by STATISTIC to tell us then that the widely held belief that business and enterprises controlled by the Southeast is completely off the mark. They gave us the list of business enterprises within the 6 geopolitical zones. So the Southwest unsurprisingly comes at the top, but the Southeast surprisingly comes as number 6. So, and then they gave us a breakdown state by state as well. The top 10 business spaces in Lagos, in Nigeria. Lagos at the top, Abuja number 10. No southeastern state at all amongst the top 10. So does this run contrary then to that container economy that the Southeast continues to tell us controls the business space?
Look, one man, if we have to go back, if we have to go take a look at the level of productivity, geographical zone by geographical zone, 10 years backward or 20 years back from where we are now, it is evidently clear that Southeast always coming down below. It is not, this statistic is not it's a complete fact, and it has been for years like that. You know, the level of productivity in the Southeast to the national GDP is the lowest. Their contribution to the GDP of Nigeria is the lowest, less than 1% or approximately 1% or 1.5 at most. So it's Nigerian feeding bottle is what is sustaining the Southeast. That Nigerian feeding bottle is what is sustaining them economically and financially. If Nigeria should stop, if Nigerian states should stop this monthly allocation to them, a lot of states in the Southeast we collapse. The economy will collapse. They won't be able to sustain themselves financially. That is what it is. And the implication of this statistic show that with this low productivity economic productivity of Southwest, it won't be attractive to foreign investors. because it's not showing. There's nothing to show that it's I mean, the productivity and the economy of Southeast is not. It cannot be attractive to foreign investors. This is what it's telling us. So the Southeasterners on their own have to, do something by investing in their homeland, make their homeland attractive, to foreign investors, and not sound all the time that we build Lagos, we build everywhere, but you don't build your own place. It's completely irrational. I mean, this is it's not good at all. I mean, this statistic shows that Southeast is rely on federal government allocation solely for their existence, and without Nigeria, they cannot exist. So this should send signal to people that are calling for Biafran state that it's going to be very difficult if they cut away from Nigeria. It's going to be very difficult for them to financially and economically sustain themselves. So,
all right. Thank you, Ajanle Koko. So, Ajanle Koko, briefly on the released by the Obedience Space Tinubu clip of Tinubu boarding presidential helicopter in Guinea-Bissau. So, this now is to embellish and enhance the space that was created by David Udeyi by his allegedly photoshopped passport that he put out on Twitter, but Twitter has suspended. So what are you then making then of this clip that they've released to Tinubu's relationship with the country of Guinea? And where do you think this will land? What do you think the object of this exercise is?
Well, I don't know. That video, when I was watching it, it's not even, it's appear upside down. It doesn't appear, clearly to me. So I don't really know anything. It might not even be Tinubu in presidential helicopter in Guinea. It might be in helicopter in maybe that he was using during his campaign, trail. So I don't know. The propaganda is flying around from both opposing camp, Tinubu camp and Biden camp. Both of them have to rattle themselves with propaganda. So this is a weapon that Obedient are using to destroy the reputation of what are you talking about, the Tinubu, and whatever that they fly on the social media, it travel worldwide. So they won't leave that social media space, and because that's the only weapon they have to destroy his image, and they're not going to stop even when he assumes office. The same thing they will carry on. It's a battle. It's a battle. So I don't know where that video comes from, but I can just conclude that it's a propaganda video to continue to destroy Tinubu personality, image, and his reputation. So that's my conclusion.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Ajanle Koko. So stay with us. Let's move the conversation on from you, Ajanle Koko, and take it in the direction of Emmanuel, who joins us from Abuja. So Emmanuel, you are up next, and it looks as though the noose is tightening around the neck of Anambra Born as he makes what a lot of people are concluding is a cryptic confessional statement to the future for events to come. I would not knowingly break the law, is what Peter B tweeted on his Twitter handle. So now that's just too abstract a statement for it not to have a backdrop. But the backdrop of that statement has to then be his most immediate encounter with an infraction of the law, arrested and detained in the United Kingdom. So is this the precursor then for the landing of the story of why Peter Obi was arrested, possibly handcuffed and detained in the United Kingdom? Emmanuel, are you there?
Good afternoon, one man.
Yeah.
Okay. I read the Twitter, but I don't know where you people are fetching the conclusion that he was speaking towards that narrative. I think if you read the whole Twitter space, he's talking about what is going on in Nigeria. That, to me, that's how I grabbed it. That
What are you talking about?
Wait, now, which one be So let me finish. Do you want me to read the whole of that Twitter?
No, I've already read it, so you don't have to. We've all read it, but carry on. Yeah.
So
he said I would not knowingly break the law after he was arrested and detained in UK.
One man, that is how you understand it. The way I understand it is that what is going on in Nigeria, that is not going basically to break any law, that he's going based on go to court, do all the necessary. We'll read it to understand. I don't know how you jump from what is happening in Nigeria to what is happening in the UK or what happened in UK. After all, we don't know anything that happened in UK. All the thing we know
we know he was arrested and detained. We know that. Do we not know that? Or you know that because his team told us. So you can't deny it. He was arrested.
Yes, I know that he was arrested. And what we heard that he was impersonated. Someone was impersonating him. Yes. So that even they are calling that who issues.
So wait, if someone impersonates him, why will he say he will not unknowingly break the law? So is it on OB for someone to impersonate him? What's your logic here?
So who tells you that unknowingly break the law is what he's talking about? The behavior that is going on. The behavior that is going on in Nigeria, they want him to break the law. So why would he come and break the law?
Okay. With whatever is going on in Nigeria, how is Obi unknowingly breaking the law and affecting whatever is going on in Nigeria? You give me that logic.
They are accusing him of treason and accusing members to treason and all stuff like that.
So they have an accusation against him, and yet he is unknowingly breaking the law. Does that even add up?
He said that he will not unknowingly break the law.
Isn't that a confession? Isn't that a confession?
There's no single confession there. He's saying that he will not.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not believable. It's quite a skill, though. What is obedience is a real skill. What they have, the obedience. Carry on.
I am super glad I'm not an obedient. I have to remove some brain cells in my head.
One man, if I thought you read the whole of that Twitter, you will know the line he's talking about. Not to pick one point, you know the line his direction is. The train is about 4 or 5. So he's basically saying that he's not going to break the law knowingly, but he's going to focus and get what he wants. He even said that if APC come by the air or sea or something, that will follow them that way. So I don't know how you left that trend of Twitter and you are jumping to something else that happened in the UK. We don't even know what happened. Do
you know why people have people know that he was speaking to the UK? You see, whatever it is that you are saying that they are trying to his name, they are trying to demark him. They've been doing that for endless months. So nothing has changed within that sphere. The only new thing that has come into play is the arrest and detention in the UK. So that is a clear infraction of the law right there. So for him then to say immediately after he was arrested and detained in the UK that he will not knowingly break the law, it is easy to marry the two together.
My best of knowledge, he was just interrogated. No, he was not even detained because the man
wasn't detained. His team told us he was detained. Are you saying you know better than his team?
Because he went for a program in that UK. He went for a program, and ordinarily, if he was detained, he will not be able to go to that program. And it was on Friday. And the program was about him. He said he even went late. So he still meets early. They didn't even spend up to, according to he didn't even spend up to 5 minutes what he was interrogating him. Obviously, they said that somebody is using his paper for some stuff like that. So they asked him some questions.
What stuff?
They were impersonating him. They were using his name to do some stuff, which they are saying.
What stuff?
Yes, they are using his name to run some dirty shit.
What dirty shit?
That's the truth. The whole truth will come out later. But he said that according to the team, they say they should do the investigation and bring the person, and the person that did. And of course, it was on Nigeria they issued that paper to the person. So don't worry, the whole truth will come out. But that's not even what the man is speaking to. He's speaking to what is happening in Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, from that Twitter, because they have been accusing this man left and right, center, everywhere. But he's telling us that we should focus, we should remain calm, that no matter what is happening, we should remain calm. That's when Babati was saying that Obi is not calming his people. That's what I wanted to interject. Obi has been doing the best to calm. If you watch his training, when Obi tweets, before 5 minutes, you see like 30 and how many. He have been telling them, calm down, we'll follow the rule of law. Let's not fight, let's not do anything. But anywhere they are coming, if they're coming from the sea or any angle, we'll follow them that pattern. So that's why he said that irrespective of the pressure, that he's going to maintain the rule of law, that he's not going to break it knowingly. So that is all I understand from that Twitter. I don't understand any other thing that people are interpreting here that is not even related to what the man is talking about.
Were you not the same person that told us that the Oyedepo clip started with a man? You were the
yes,
same
one man. Yes, I think exactly.
All right, just to put context to what you're saying. But let's put context to this as well. The video clip that you guys released of Tinubu on a military helicopter in Guinea. What was the intention? What were you hoping to achieve when your camp released that video?
Of course, we are trying to prove points now. We're trying to prove our point. We're trying to prove our point that what we are saying is not a male falsy accusation. That we have an evidence, and more is coming. According to Dane, he's saying he's going to bring more to what he. That's why the last time I came here, I said that if APC actually know that this man is damaging things, they should go and arrest him. I even said it in a Rudolph show. They should come arrest him if they think that he's lying. And I'm sure they will not arrest him because more damage will be done. Because that guy is good.
How do you arrest a fugitive?
Of course, you find a way to arrest the person.
Really?
And the Kano style, have you?
Exactly. Find a way to bring him back to Nigeria. So if you know that this man is doing some dirty shit for you, you do something seriously to bring him back.
Easy on the swear language, by the way, but carry on.
Yeah, one man.
Yeah.
This man, I think this is what Nigeria should be doing. Our investigative journalists should be doing more than what they are just sitting on the television and be talking bullshit. They should go down and
easy on the foul language. Carry on.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, can I ask you a question? What's the difference between independent journalist and opposition researcher? Do you know the difference?
Who is opposition researcher? Let's even get that point first. Yes, who is opposition researcher?
Do you know the difference? I'm just asking you.
Yes, I know, because independent is someone that does not affiliate with anything.
Okay.
You are just
So does, by your knowledge of independent, does that Fly looking guy, is he independent?
To my best of knowledge, before he released that what is it called? That drug case, he was not affiliated to anyone. It was obedient people that actually reached to him.
Hang on.
No. Hold on. He said on national television that he's an obedient. So what are you saying?
One man, let me land now. Before he released that certificate of drug case, he was not. He said he was not supporting any political party yet, but he just want to bring fact that Nigerians should open their eyes and select a good leader. That he has all the record for these people. That he's going to bring it out. So we can now reach out to him that he should investigate more. Listen, let me finish now.
Wait. Quick question. Do you have a TV?
Yes.
Do you have a cell phone?
Yes.
Okay. Did you watch Arise TV where that guy self-confessed that he is an obedient? If you miss that,
wait now.
If you miss that, go to his Twitter page to see where he endorsed Obi, and then go back to the difference between independent journalists and opposition researchers.
Colata, I get your point. But I say prior before that declaration of allegiance to Obi, that he said that he released that certificate. He said he was not supporting anyone before he released that drug case. That the reason why he did it was to do what? Was to bring to the notice of Nigerian the kind of leader that is vowing for the post of president. That is when we now reached out to him and he said he's an obedient. And this man has been doing the job of investigation for many years. It's not just starting today.
Yeah, it's not an independent arbiter, is what our people are telling you.
He has been an independent. It's just because.
But he's told you he's an obedient now. So what are we doing now? Don't do that, please. Now.
Oh God, one man. One man. Well, what I'm saying that has been his work before now. Obedience.
Hold on. He has. Are you aware? Because Kulata has pointed you to where he said it. Are you aware that he confesses to be an obedient?
Yes, one man.
Yeah. Okay, stay there. And then, if he confesses to be an obedient, does that then make him partisan? Yes or no?
Of course, one man. But the point I'm driving here is that even before he released that certificate, he has not declared any support to anyone.
Right.
That's what I'm telling you. Get the fact. Before he declared support for Obi, he has been doing the work of journalism before then. So why are we? Because he said, okay, he's supporting Obi. That because of that he is doing dirty to. Of course, he is trying to investigate many things out there. So let's even leave that one aside. What we are saying is that for the fact that this man lied, that he does not have double citizens, and he's categorically stated it on his the form that he filled, and now this thing is coming out. See, you don't understand. This man, Tinubu, is such a controversial human being. You don't know anything about him. You don't know nobody know anything about him.
Yeah, we know. You may not know, but a lot of us do. We know.
Where is the state? What is the real name? Who is his father?
His name is Bola Ahmed. His name is Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
That is what was placed out there for us to see. But this man.
Okay, what is his name then? What is his name if it's not Bola Ahmed Tinubu? What is it?
I heard that his name was something like Amo, something. I can't even remember that.
Emmanuel, you heard. Really? That's
from the obedience space. His age is hold on. His age is 71. So what do you know to the contrary?
His age cannot be 71, and his daughter is 61. How does
his daughter is not 61? The
daughter said it herself.
Oh my God!
Everything about him is not just real.
No. The picture you are painting is what you are painting, but it does not. We know his name. We know his age. We know where he's from. We know where he was educated. We know a lot about him. We know what he did. We know what he did. We know where he worked. We know where he worked. Deloitte and Touche, Mobile.
One man, the last time you were interrogating his name of Bola, you are saying that how can somebody write his name Bola? Right? You are even confused as an uncle man. I
wasn't confused though. Don't speak on my
How can somebody answer Bola? That there is something named before Bola or something. You are even confused. I was even telling you that.
I wasn't confused.
One man, you were. That's how he wrote his name on INEC. See, everybody knows that he's a very controversial man.
He is not. You are trying to paint him as sort, but unsuccessfully.
Emmanuel, how old is Tinubu?
Can I come in?
No, hold on. Yes, yeah.
He said, "How old is?" That is the problem. I don't know how old is he.
Oh my God. Okay, let me just in my mind.
But you don't. But you are insisting that it's not the age he says he is, but you don't know how old he is.
Because I try to merge the age between the daughter and the son.
Emmanuel, how can Tinubu be from Osun State, from Lagos State, and from Guinea, all at the same time, all coming from the same Udenga?
Now, Kolota, that is the point we are getting.
Let me land now. All coming from your Undanyin guy. The guy I said Tinubu is from Amoda from Osun State. Tinubu is also from Guinea. Which one takes precedence
It's possible
over
to
the other?
have double citizen now. Of course, it's possible to have.
No, it is not just the citizen. You can have multiple citizenship, that's fine. But he's now saying where he originates from. So which one do we choose now? Because we have to choose. Because
There
it
is
is not
no one, as far as I'm concerned. You Kolata, you can't even beat your chest to defend this man that you're talking about. Because you don't even know where he is. Yes,
I don't wait now, don't battle me. I take the man for his word. That's what I do until proven otherwise. But you take Udenyi, the sissy fly looking guy, that Tinubu is from Osun State and Tinubu is also from Guinea. So which one do we pick?
And Lagos as well, also is
and Lagos.
Yes.
Oh God,
So-
it's unbelievable.
So to me, where I started doubting Tinubu is when I heard the daughter is 61 years, where he even celebrated their birthday. As of
Where did she celebrate? Where did she celebrate it?
61 years old.
So,
Where?
as of 2020, 2021. They
all right. Sorry, sorry,
Woman, do you have a picture? Do you have a picture?
Yeah,
That's my request.
I have a picture, but I have a challenge for Emmanuel. This session is going to run for no more than 1 more hour. So before the session comes to an end, I want you to provide a link for where that woman was celebrating her 60th. Or if you can't within an hour, then you have to withdraw that statement. But Akulata, yes, I can look for a picture of her, but sadly she's not anything near 61. She's barely even 50. Yeah.
She's 1976.
She's barely 50. Oh, yeah, wait. Just hold on there.
All right. As you're looking for that, give us your take on what we got from STATISTIC to make a lie of what the widely held belief is that the Southeast controls business. So according to statistics, they don't. They are the bottom of the 6 geopolitical zones, and they don't even come within the top 10 states, any of the Southeastern states. So does that statistic surprise you, Emmanuel?
Woman, I think me, as far as I'm concerned, I actually want some things to be changed, or some drastic thing to change based on we the Igbos, because I know that we are good. This is guys. This is the region that after war they were not given anything. They built from ashes, and this is where they are today. So if at all they can just find a way to begin to harness their business in the region and open a good seaport for themselves, they can do it. As far as I'm concerned, they can do it. So if they can open seaport for themselves within that region, because most of to me, the reason why some of them are just jumping from one region to other is because of easy shipping and all that. If they can find a way to get their deep sea working well and move their business down to east, I think it will be like a hub, an economic hub for them, because they are good. Looking at the antecedent, they are good. This is men.
But a lot of the other geopolitical zones also have even more disadvantages than the Southeast.
No, I doubt that. Because
so sorry, forget the war. What about the war is nearly 70 years ago now, so I don't think it can continue to be the go-to in every narrative.
No, one man, that's the experience we had, and they rose from that ashes, and they are where they are today. In fact, one man give it to them. That's what I'm saying. They are good. They should move their business and find a way to harness it in that region, so that other countries will be coming there, like Aba. You can imagine now if Aba is well harnessed, or Onitsha, all those places well ranged, so many countries will be coming there to buy things and ship things. Abba can be transporting shoes and bags and stuff to the other country. They should just come. To me, I wish that they will stop investing in the other region. Like I'm seriously like clamoring for that. If possible, they can withdraw their investment, move it back to the southeast, open ports it, and begin to do what they know how to do best. To be honest with them.
All right, thank you, Emmanuel. It's a short session, as I said, but I just finally.
I'm sorry.
The image you are looking at on your screen is Tinubu's daughter. So does that strike you as a woman approaching her 70th birthday?
Well, I said this is 61 man. This is 60. Even men looking at her, she looks 60.
All right. Okay.
Emmanuel, I'll come and knock your head for saying that statement.
How did Emmanuel know that she looks 60? Because
I don't know. Because it's part of the storyline that he wants to
look.
Push.
I've said this thing here before. You know, she married someone from Ekiti, and I think that guy she married before she divorced is from around the Pochi area. And this guy in Pochi area that we are talking about is that I used to have a guy that we attended the same school together. I won't mention the name, but the first name, I mentioned the first name, but I won't mention the second name. The guy is Taiwo. So the guy schooled in Ado Ekiti, and this woman got married to his friend. Although that friend...
sorry, one man, I want to address something. Sorry, no verse. This Onyeka, I want to address him.
Hold on. Let Ola land. Like I said, the afternoon session is a lot mellow.
This woman celebrated their 46th birthday last year. So I don't know between last year and now how she managed to jump, and she's 61.
Maybe she was born. Maybe she was born on a leap year. So every year it counts for 4. Maybe she was born on a leap year.
So the husband is still alive. Even the husband should be around 50, or maybe be around 50 to 52. The old husband. So I don't know where people got that 61, because to be honest, I won't believe it initially too, that the woman was old. But later on finding out, I discovered that this thing was a blatant lie. So Emmanuel, everything
so that
on
woman,
the line.
So that one in that picture look 40 for you. Come and see my girlfriend. Age. My girlfriend is almost 40 years.
Emmanuel, we are in the data age. The veracity of data matters. So don't just. How does that? What in that woman's face makes her look?
For crying out loud? How can you label that woman 40 years for crying out loud?
All right, Emmanuel, we must move on. You said you wanted to address.
Yes,
Patrick.
one man. This Onyeka on that comment. Anytime I mention here, he comes for me for IPOP. I have said it here that I'm not for IPOP. That I always speak to what I'm saying. I'm against what they are doing. I'm against how they're terrorizing Southeast. They should just forget this thing. We are Nigerians. I'm not in support of whatever they are doing there. So anytime I comment here, he said that I'm a slave. No matter what you want to say, I'm not in support of Nnamdi Kanu, and I'll never be in support of him. So he's there listening to me. So he can say whatever he wants to say.
All right. You've been here long enough, Emmanuel, to know that you have to leave the comment section alone, because if you go after them, they will have you. Just let them be.
I was going to ask Emmanuel a question about the port. Like maybe he should give us a location where he thinks it will be viable commercially in that part of the country, since he said that that's what they've been denying them. If you can just give us a name of a port where they can build that in that area for the Southeast, give us a location where you think will be commercially viable.
But Babati, flood the place. Go and consult on Rumila. Flood the place with water. So you can get the sea to the south.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, the only viable port that is coming up maybe is Ibom. That one is in Akwa Ibom. So it keeps in Southeast. So where in Southeast? You give me a location so I know where to look at, Emmanuel.
Babati, down alone. There's a port working right now in One. That's River State. There's the port in what's it called in Calabar is working for export. One is both import and export. It's all this stuff is just excuses and stories. There's no natural sea water that gets to the southeast. No, but let me land. Oh, at least Port Harcourt is close to Imo State. Abia is close to Calabar. You can use those ports. So stop all this shenanigans.
Polata, is that a deep report? Let's be honest here. Is that a deep report? Can you carry this cargo from that kind of
hold on, Emmanuel. Just, answer Babati's question, and then I'll move on from you. Yeah.
Give us the name of the location in South East where you think they should put a port.
I think that's one they call slave seaport. That one in Abia State.
Slave seaport. Look at this guy. I'm done.
Yes. Yes, they're going to call slave seaport in Abia State. They can make it deep, just the way they have been working the one in Lagos State. They can make that one also.
Please, let's move on.
Yeah, you see now the space is so maddening when you are trying a conversation with that space. But let's go to Bishop, who joins us. So Bishop, you're up next. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good afternoon from here, but good day really covers everything. But to it then, Bishop, we're still with the Peter Obi narrative. He's now dropping cryptic tweets on Twitter, telling us that he has not knowingly broken the law. So is this a precursor for what's to come around his arrest in the UK?
Yes, and I promise you, good morning once again, everyone. Thank you for coming. Please do like, share, and if you have not subscribed, kindly do so. I will be very brief on Peter Obi's case. That statement, no matter how you want to panel it, or you paint, or you decorate it, it's a tactical admission of running foul of the law. Don't let me say guilt. It's a tactical, where I did not do it intentionally, but I did it. So if anybody wants to twist it and contextualize or contextualize, it's left to them. Like I said 2 or 3 days ago, I will not want to speculate. I will want to wait for when the real truth will come out. I will make my comments there. But this is a pointer to the direction of what might likely come. Whatever anybody wants to say, Obi's statement is a tactical admission that something actually went wrong.
Bishop, 5 seconds. Is this like a Yoruba person? Is this what a Yoruba person will call Ishe Ishuni? I don't know if you can answer.
Yeah,
it's the devil.
You know, I don't do it intentionally. I mean, ignorance of the law, they say, is not an excuse. I don't know how he ran foul of the law, but he said he did not say he did not run foul of the law. He said he will not do it intentionally. So we admit that he did not do it intentionally. In fact, we have already forgiven him before he tells us what he did. But for crying out loud, we deserve to know what went wrong.
All right, brilliant. Well, Bishop.
Can I make a statement?
No, I want to push through. Okay, make a brief statement because, like I said.
Well, if you're pushing through, then I should be the next. If you want.
You won't be the next because Kulata and Ola came in before you, and Adewale has been in and out. So you won't. Be the next.
Okay, so you don't want me to talk?
No, I have your brief interjection, and then I'll take Bishop to another talking point. Yeah.
Okay. First off, this statement he made on Twitter, I don't think it's worthy of the news because he has actually come out so many occasions and made similar statement that he hasn't knowingly disobeyed the law. I can send you like 2-3 videos of him saying that, and you know, I don't know why it should be an issue saying it again, you know, for the 4th time. For you assuming that maybe he had a UK passport or whatever, I think you made something like a statement like that.
That's not an interjection. That's a defense. If you let me finish, when you get to your turn, you can always make
all right. You are right, Bishop. So back to you, Bishop. So Bishop, let me take you to the space then. Because you know, there's emotions, there is speculations, there's propaganda, and then there's something just they call raw facts. So there are certain organizations, they are statistics-based organizations that just condense the numbers into a coherent presentation and put it to the public for the public to make of it what they will. So one of those organizations in Nigeria is an organization called is called STATISTIC. So it's embedded in the name, so statistic sense. So what they are telling us, this STATISTIC organization, that the locations of business enterprises in Nigeria, as at 2020, when they when they crunched the numbers, the Southwest at the top, with Lagos being the pearl in that pace, no surprises. The Northwest comes second. The South comes third. The North Central, which you think no business goes on there, comes fourth. The Northeast, where you only think is Suleiman and a goat, they come fifth. But then the Southeast, which has always told us that it is the enterprise capital of the country, they come sixth. So they now gave us, so that was the geopolitical breakdown. So they now broke it down to the top 10 states in terms of business enterprises in Nigeria. Lagos, Rivers, Kano, Oyo, Ogun, Katsina, which surprises me, Kwara, Delta, Kaduna, which is number 9, I thought it would be round about third, and FCT. So of those listed 10, not one southeastern state comes in. So at the Biafran War or whatever narrative, these statistics, it reads contrary to the widely held belief that the enterprise belongs to the Southeast. Bishop.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just ceased for a second. I don't know what happened. But that's okay. You're back. I hear you back.
So did you get the gist of it, what I said?
Yeah, it is just the last few seconds, 5-6 seconds or thereabout.
No, I was just inviting that statistics runs contrary to the popularly held belief that the Southeast controls enterprise in Nigeria.
Yes. I think, can I go ahead now?
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I think you rightly put it. It's talking about the location where those business thrives, where those business takes place. We are not talking about whether it's a particular group or set of people that that engage in those businesses. And there are quite a number of things that will make business to thrive in certain places more than the other. Like elementary commerce teach us, so many things, location of industry. So there are quite a number of factors. We're not taking any in a way maybe that Igbos are entrepreneurs. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be one. You can have 100 entrepreneurs that might not be able to match up to one merchant or one industrialist in the context of total input and output. Yes, as per the location where businesses are, I think I am not surprised at this data, these statistics. I have lived in the Southeast very well. The trade between the Southeast and Southwest and Southeast and North Central and the North, it's really, there's a lot if you know the volume of trade. I would encourage, and I've always been to say that, look, let's all these seaports work across. At least if we can have 5-6 seaports working together, south, southeast. I mean, let's put the issue of seaports in Babati rest. There is no southeast state that can have a seaport. They can have a dry port too, but there is no southeast state that can have a seaport. That's just there's no need to waste energy on that. So I think the statistics it's accurate.
All right. Just to pause for a moment. That seaport that Emmanuel was talking about, the slave port in Abia. So somebody has just now gone to dig that up. Let me just show you a map of that space. Just to we sometimes say some of the narrative can be a bit ludicrous, but if you look at the map of that, this is where that slave whatever it is that I said is quite significantly removed from any real waterway.
I did more digging, It's over 180 kilometers from the ocean.
Yes.
So you not dredge for 180 kilometers, I mean.
It just gets more and more ludicrous. But let me take you.
Is there any dry port? Is there any dry port in the Southeast?
Well, there should be, because for those Boni and One ones that you're saying, they should have a dry port, because whatever traffic is going through those ports in One, wherever, There'll be many Southeasterners. Yeah.
Answer that question, please. It is not the job of federal government to build dry ports. They work in collaboration with the state. The state initiates it, call for collaboration. I can mention 3-4 dry spots that have been completed in the north and the southwest of Nigeria. There is not a single one of them that is being built or built by the federal government. You can check it out. So it is the state that collaborates and say, oh, this is what we want to do, and this is what we are looking at. We are looking for what do you call it? Investors in this area. The permits and grants and licenses is the one the federal government will come up with, but it is the initiative of the state.
All right, Bishop, take us to the space. Then this clip released by this clip, I won't say by the Obedience, but suspiciously by the Obedience. Kulata, hang on a moment. I'll come to you next if you can spare the time. Kulata about to leave us, but I know they want to hear from him. But to that space, then, this is a clip of Tinubu in a helicopter in Guinea. Do you think this enhances then the narrative being sold around social media by David Udeyin that Tinubu is actually from Guinea? What are you making then of this clip released by the Obedience?
I've seen quite a few of that. I mean, people are attaching too many things, so I don't know which one they're actually talking. If that's we saw him in a helicopter that belongs to Guinean government, now he's a Guinean citizen or something. That's ridiculous. That's not just funny. That's outrightly ridiculous. You know, that means I don't even know what to make of that. I saw some people say, oh, there was some wife husband. He was delivering cocaine. He was delivering this. He was delivering drugs, and the rest. I've seen that one too. In fact, what's his name? Breno Mokri just pointed one, asking question, what is this white stuff on the ground in the chopper? I think it's ridiculous. If even Tinubu were to be a drug kingpin or a drug, so he will go like that, and they will be recording in the face of camera, and they will be distributing drugs, and will go with a sitting governor. They just, I mean, I don't know whether we can be more ridiculous than what it is now. But if the fact that he was in a helicopter of Guinean government for whatever reason is now a proof that he's a Guinean citizen, that means Soludo is a Guinean citizen. Then I give up. I don't want to.
It's beyond ridiculous sometimes, isn't it? It's beyond
yeah. Bishop, what does even? How does it even matter if this guy is a Guinean? You know, how does it matter? Because I'm curious to know, because Bukola Saraki has dual citizenship, and that was settled long time ago by the court that dual citizenship, once your parents were born and you were born in Nigeria, that you are qualified to become the president or the governor. So how does that Guinean dual citizenship of Tinubu affect? Because I'm interested in knowing that. Okay, let me answer you. Two things. We actually addressed this 2 days ago, if woman actually remember. We addressed this space about his dual citizenship. There's nothing in the law that say he cannot be president of Nigeria. What they are hammering on is that the fact that, look, he said under oath that he is not a citizen of another country. And I'm now saying, has he actually come to admit that that piece of trash that was published, permit my language, that piece of paper that was published by Hyundai is that did the man, you know, I don't know where to go with that, honestly. I would just beg that we move to the next so that other people can
sorry, I want to move on to Kolata just to manage the time. We have less than an hour left. So let's come to you, Kolata.
So let me just give me a second, if you don't mind. Let me say something on Tinubu. The argument you were having with Emmanuel the last time. The gentleman was trying to say, because of his name is Oyetunde Oladimeji Ojo, the husband of Folashade Ojo. He's a 42 or 43-year-old young man. And he's a president. No. That guy rigged his age too. That guy rigged his age. He's older than that. Okay. That's what the document said, that he's 43. That he was born in 1979.
Yeah, even here, you people don't even know what you're saying. You're confused.
Folashade was born in 1976.
You're just confused.
I don't know when Folashade was born. Folashade could have been born in 76 or 75. 1970. I don't know. But to say Folashade is 61 years old, somebody was even ridiculous to say that Tinubu congratulated the wife at 60 something or 62. Does it mean that Tinubu married the wife when he was 8 years old? I don't know how that correlates. So, from court available for the husband of Folashade was that he was born in 1979. If you know that you knew when he was born, and you cannot dispute that, no, or you have evidence to the contrary, you can bring it for. But as at now, the prevailing truth, the fact about him was that if I told you I was born in 1980, and you are now coming to say, were you my father? Were you there when they born me? Except you have contrary compelling fact to that, I mean, proof or what evidence to what you are. So we cannot just be throwing things. I mean,
but we saw the woman with our face here.
All right, thank you, Bishop. Let me move on to Kolata. But by the trajectory of what they're saying about Tinubu, it must be older than Obasanjo and round about the age of Fashion Roti. So that's the trajectory of that age. But let's set that fallacious nonsense to one side and hear the statistics coming through from Kolata. So Kolata, these are data from STATISTIC. Runs contrary to widely held belief. It surprises me, I have to say. I've never bought into the narrative that the Southeast was at the top of the enterprise in Nigeria, but I never for one moment thought they were at the bottom. But the statistics tells us that. Kolata on mute. Can anyone hear me?
He's not available. He went to make a call.
Private chat. He already
he went to make a call.
All right. All right. Okay. You go to it then. Since you've been pushing for it, Des.
Yeah. Your question about the Southeasterners not controlling, businesses or whatever. Yeah, I believe we're talking about the region, which I think the statistics might be right. I would say. I think it's right. Well, is it right? I don't know. I've not really been to the north central, or say, to understand how the business is. But if you're talking about the south, I think there should be below in the south, because I've not been to the north.
They're not in the top 10. If you look at your screen, the organization is STATISTIC, and they're a reputable organization for. Oh wow! No. The river from you is too heavy, man. The river from you is too heavy. Oh God, no. That's unbearable.
Are you hear me?
Yeah.
Is it okay now?
All right. Just don't. Let me mute you to put the question now. The statistics, and this is a reputable organization, by the way, but the statistics, first they give us the regions that gives that in terms of the Southeast being at the bottom, Southwest, Northwest, South, North Central, Northeast, and Southeast. And then, so that's for the geopolitical regions. But what you're looking at on your screen now is a breakdown into states now. And as you can still see from the states, the top 10, there is not one single. So there is no, you cannot Biafra this away or excuse this away. It runs completely contrary to what the consensus popularly widely held is. Lagos, Rivers, Kano, Oyo, Ogun, Katsina, Kwara, Delta, Kaduna, and the FCT. So the top 10 are location of businesses in Nigeria, not a single southeastern state there. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Like a lot of us said there, there's been a lot of Easterners traveling out and establishing their businesses, in a lot of places and regions in Nigeria. And I believe if they didn't do that and they came home to establish whatever they had, I'm not sure. I'm sure that they will be in top of that list, But regardless, I don't think it means much. I mean, the Southeasterners are still trying and striving. I mean, if you still look at the the poverty indices, they're still below, in Nigeria. So I think they're still really much trying in the little way they can, although they're just, if they can stop traveling, and I think they're going to do better in their statistics. And that's it for that.
All right. To Peter B space and the sorry, there's just so much heavy noise coming from you. To Peter B space and the cryptic to Peter B space and the cryptic messages, and this will be my last question because the noise is just is too heavy for the experience. To Peter B space and the cryptic messages coming from him on Twitter, admitting to crimes yet unknown. I would not knowingly break the law, says the man from Anambra desk.
Yeah. Like I said, P2B has always made this statement severally in the media. Arise News has made that statement. In channels, has made that statement. Even before even as of 8 years ago, I can show you a video. He made that statement. So him tweeting the statements, I mean, more like the fourth time. I really don't read anything to it. He's a man that is smart and plays with caution. And if you want to say maybe it's because of he has a dual citizenship, and yeah, I would like to correct who was making a statement that it doesn't break any law if you have a dual citizenship. I mean, I don't know the section, but if I can get it out.
No, that's not what. Can I interject 1 minute?
Yeah, come in, Ajan Lekoko.
How many times must we continue to hear this statement from this guy? How many times must he continue to say, "Oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that"? He said it when they caught him on Pandora, that Pandora newspaper scandal. He was telling us on Arise News that he didn't know that he has to declare that Stashaway fund in Pandora scheme, that it was because his daughter, that account was jointly held by him and the daughter, so he didn't know that he has to declare it. How many times must he continue? Do we continue to accept this kind of a statement from this guy? A statement of that shows that he's lying. How long should we lie all the time?
Well, Ajali Koko, it's more like I don't know how to answer your question because I don't know how to put it. Nigeria is a very unstable country that laws can be changed in an instant, and you don't even know where you stand today. And
no. Hold on.
Hold
on. The law was the law then when he flouted it with Pandora Papers, so it wasn't changed after he flouted the law.
He didn't flout the law. I mean, what are you saying?
What do you mean? Well, he didn't declare his assets abroad. He himself is not denying he flouted the law. He said he didn't know.
No, he never said. He said he did not flout any law. That's what he said in that thing.
He said he did not know. What do you want us to start? Come on, guy, man.
I don't want to go there, one man. You're trying to put word into my mouth, and P2B made it clear that the reason he did not put it there. So I don't know why you're trying to make it case out of it.
He said he did not know. He said it. We all heard him. So what are you doing?
One man, can I talk?
Yeah, go
He said the reason why he didn't put it there because it wasn't in his name. It's not because he didn't know it was demand. It was like it's a law to be broken or whatever. If he was in his name, then yeah, he's breaking the law, but it's not in his name. So there's no law there to be broken. That is it. But let me get to your question. What was I saying? If what he said, I don't know what you're interpreting it to, whether it's the is the citizenship, UK, whatever. I don't know.
It was his arrest at Heathrow Airport, where he was arrested and detained.
Hello.
Yeah, carry on.
Got a call. Yeah, okay. His arrest. I don't want to speculate. I mean, what is on the news is that someone duplicated his passport, and that is what is on the news, and I have to go with that. And they're lying or whatever. If that is the case, then we should start talking to our immigration. How is that even possible? People that give out passports. How would someone duplicate my passport?
No. To do what? Yeah, and use it to do what? Yes, man. Can anyone still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can.
All right.
I will.
We can hear you.
I don't know. I've been getting a call, so it's been interrupting.
All right.
Yeah. I was saying that we have to start asking the federal government, people that are in charge of giving out passport immigration, how it's possible for someone to duplicate
yeah, but we don't know that his passport was duplicated. We only know that he told us that there was an imposter, which is ambiguous because we don't know what the imposter did or how he arrived at the fact that he was an imposter. So we don't know anything. The only thing we know that he was arrested and detained in the UK. That's all we know.
Yeah, I mean, his media handler has come out, I think, is it on Arise, and said that the case there was another person using his name.
Right, to do what? To do what?
I don't know. I mean,
yeah, so that means nothing now. Well, that means nothing.
That's what I'm saying, one man. This is what we know. I cannot project to do what. They haven't answered that question. The question they have answered.
But after that, then he is telling us that he did not knowingly break the law.
I mean, that can be interpreted in a lot of ways. You cannot just put it in this arrest. That's just what I'm saying. You're just speculating and propaganding, basically. I'm not up for that. I'm saying he made a statement which he has been making so many times, and if you want to read meaning into that, then you have to go 6 years ago and read meaning into his statements. I don't want to do that. This man has been consistent with us, with whatever he's saying, and the real issue I wanted to even come out is the Tinubu issue. I don't want to talk. I'm tired of talking about P2B.
What do you mean you're tired of talking about P2B? All you ever talk about is Tinubu. Why don't you talk about P2B for a change? And all the laws that he breaks.
I mean, he is a man that has never. I mean, I have never been seen to break a law. But Tinubu, on the contrary, it's a whole new thing. This is a man that has a lot of propaganda, a lot of baggages on him, which one man here can even attest to and agree to.
No, I can't. He doesn't have a 61-year-old child. He's a 71-year-old man, and his name is Tinubu. He went to Chicago State University, so I know all that. So I cannot attest to whatever it is that you make up in your face.
Okay. But at least I know what one you can attest to, which is always the statement, and you make up and you say it all the time. The looter of Lagos is a baggage on its own.
As equally is the looter of Anambra. Charles Soludo spoke it today. Do you want us to go to him about your man? Hello? Have we lost? No, let's go on from this. We're losing you too often. Let's go on from this to let's go to Dewale. So Dewale, you're up next if you're still here.
One man, can you hear me?
Yeah, brilliantly. Yeah, at last.
Can you skip me and go to the next person? I'll join you in a few minutes.
All right, brilliant. And that's how it should be done, by the way. If you're not ready, just tell me you're not ready. So well done, Dewale. So let's go then to Ola, who is also with us. So Ola, to that space. Let me come at you from the super chat of Ayo. It says, why do obedience feel the need to defend Obi at all cost? If the man broke the law, then he did. Stop sticking your neck out for a politician. So this is thank you, Ayo, for the super chat. This is the maddening thing about the obedience space. The man himself almost effectively making a confessional tweet on Twitter in anticipation of the revelations to come, almost certainly within the next few days. And these people are telling us about some imposter that did something unknown, and then it's about the Nigerian Immigration Service. But what do you think Peter Obi was tweeting at when he said he did not knowingly break the law, Ola?
You see, when that guy made that statement that he didn't break the law intentionally, when Festo Keyamo was just saying, well, nobody can claim the ignorance of the law. See, for the man to have said that, let's get this thing right. It simply means that the propaganda about someone using that his identity is as good as another lie somewhere. Someone is telling lies to defend Obi at all costs, because how can someone steal your identity and all of a sudden you are now saying you didn't commit that offense intentionally? So there's no correlation between the two. So the obedience is this. I think they are doing something to their credibility, in the sense that you allow Osho, or maybe Osho's mother, to defend Osho, not you, that you want to know Osho more than the mother. It's Yoruba, it's Yoruba addict that say you don't know Osho more than Osho's mother. So someone is telling you that I didn't commit this thing intentionally, but you are still here, you are still telling us about how someone stole his identity. You are not doing yourself any good at all. Leave Obi himself to defend himself. He is the number one stakeholder in this obedience struggle. You can't love Obi more than Obi, no matter what you want to say. So to me, this is the level of when we are saying something this is ridiculous, maybe we've not even got to the peak of it. And I think obedience should just go to where they can find mirror and look at their own image and just tell themselves that, are we really telling ourselves this thing, or we are doing something else? Because this is the power of self-deceit, and it is this power of I don't just want to use some kind of strong language. To me, I think this I'm sorry to say, this madness we have to stop. The madness, because the madness is like we are misleading the people of the country. Whatever Obi says is what we should take for the right thing now, whether he's telling us the truth or he's telling us that. But for him to have come out to say, I did not commit that offense intentionally, that means he committed a certain offense, and that certain offense can be what a third party commit on his behalf. Otherwise, Obi will have said, oh, someone used my identity. We've never heard that one from Obi. So if we've heard that one from Obi, then we say it's valid. So obedience, you tried in misleading people. I think it's getting to a level that you should call yourself to order and say, well, so not all of them, maybe some of them, and call yourself to order and say enough is enough in this line industry.
All right, Ola. Let me take you to the statistics space that turns what the widely held belief is on its head. So the statistics come out to tell us that the bottom of the pyramid in business enterprises, the Southeast, and then they gave us the top 10 states, and there is no Southeastern state there. So Biafra, the easy go-to of that space. But do you think the Biafran narrative is sufficient enough to explain away this statistic?
That it depends on how we apply the statistics. If we are applying the statistics based on the region, as space, as landmass and that space, yes, it may be valid. But if the statistics is about the people, about the people, Nigeria is just a space whereby we are still, we don't see ourselves as Nigerians, but we see ourselves as an ethnic person first before our tribe. That's just the situation. Now, we want to segment it based on the weight of the Igbo people in, let's say, the Western region. If we want to build it by weight by ethnic group, yes, the statistics may not be correct. But if we want to put it as weight based on geographical space, then it may be correct.
Well, no, so sorry. Why would the statistics not be correct if you are looking at it by wealth by ethnic group? Because I think what a lot of people conflate is the number of business enterprises versus the net worth of that of the enterprise space. So if we are talking about people opening a lot of businesses, you can say they open a lot of businesses, but what is the net worth of those businesses vis-a-vis the sort of businesses other regions do? For instance, let's use Lagos State as an instance. What is the net worth of the totality of Igbo investment in Lagos State versus one man, Dangote?
Yeah, where I don't have that statistics but it's very difficult to quantify, because if we want to make it individual, it's very what, No,
I'm not making it individual. I don't want to go to individual specifically. I'm just saying that the fact that they have shops everywhere does not then mean that they are doing the most business. The most business is actually the volume of income and profit, isn't it? So
yeah, I agree with you, but the way I see it this is the way I see it. MTN is a multinational company. It's in Lagos. So how do you evaluate that? It's a South African business, right? Even though it's registered as a Nigerian business, but it still belongs to South African person. So now look in a situation whereby we have so many Igbo people in Lagos with that level of businesses. So can we blame Igbo people establishing business in Lagos? No, we cannot blame them because they will go to where we have the opportunity. So that's why I say it is dangerous and it is not it won't be accurate if we want to use it purely based on the ethnicity or whatever. So if you are talking of landmass, okay.
We're not. Sorry, we're not talking about landmass. Don't go there. Let's talk about the top 10 list that the statistician also published. Because this really narrows it down. So I'm going to put it on the screen now. So the top 10 list, let me put it on the screen. The top 10 list that the statistician put out. These are the top 10. I'm not sure how much of it you can read. It says top 10 location of business enterprises 2020. And it gives us Lagos, it gives us Rivers, it gives us Kano, number 4, Oyo, number 5, Ogun, number 6, Katsina, number 7, Kwara, number 8, Delta, number 9, Kaduna, and number 10, the FCT. So there's no southeastern state amongst the top 10 spaces of business enterprise in Nigeria. So whether you say they farm out of their region to enterprise or not, there are other regions too that farm out, but it's very difficult then to explain this away, this top 10 list.
Man. Yeah, to me, based on my little knowledge of statistics, I will tell you that it depends on the input you put in this thing. I'll give an example of Lagos now, where we used to, when we have normally headquarters of businesses, the location and the type of investment attracted there. Now, those investments, is both foreign and local. And part of the businesses we mention now, because this is based on location now, Igbo people that we are talking about, they are part of these businesses we are talking about in Lagos. So you see what I'm saying now? Because you look at economy of you will just look at it away, because let's even look at it from the medium enterprise. When you go to Ladipo, when you go to Alaba, when you go to Oshodi, when you go to Orile, you still see these Igbo traders or whatever you want to call them, that they are still plying the trade around that place because of the location of Lagos. See River State, oil area, oil and gas area where people can. Where's one man? You see, oil and gas area where people.
Ola, can I interject you?
Okay.
You are not. Are you going after the statistic? I mean, when you talk of, you are trying to justify, or you are what you are saying is just you are trying to go against the statistics. We have the.
No, I'm not going against the statistics. You see what that statistic is telling us is just the quantitative aspect of it, but it's not telling us about the qualitative. This is the way we look at it. There are factors that we push businesses, that we concentrate businesses in a certain location. See,
but
people are migrating to Lagos.
What the statistic is telling us is, contribution of each region in Nigeria.
Each region, the each region we are talking about, it's not mono ethnic group. You understand? A lot of people, foreigner, people moving from other regions, they will come and settle in that particular region to make business worthy of what this is. Okay, now look at Ogun State. Now is the most industrialized state in Nigeria. But who are those people with the industry? You see the Chinese people, you see foreigners, and you even see people even within our own country, Igbo, Hausa, everybody, they will come to that place, right? So
yes,
now
look, the creation of enabling environment for investors to come into your place matters as well. So if the Southeast doesn't create that enabling environment for people to invest from outside to come and invest there, they don't invest either. So who do you want to blame? Why do you want to
of course, yes, that's the point.
Yeah, you have to look at that too. They don't make any effort in the first place to develop their own place, and they don't make it attractive for outsiders to come and invest there too. So they are the cause. You have to blame them in totality for the economic backwardness of their region as far as Nigeria is concerned. So
Ajanle Koko, I agree with you to some extent. But it's not. I know that insecurity or hostility can play a very huge part of that. No doubt about that. But it's not about hostility alone. Look at Rivers State, for example. There was a time that Rivers State was very hostile, militancy, data militancy. But despite that, you still have people there just because of the significance. Because how strategic that place is to the foreign, to the investor. So that no matter the level of that insecurity, they were ready to do something to still take their business to that place. Now, Lagos, we all already know that it's Atlantic, that's Atlantic and all those stuff. Then Rivers too, it's very close to another part of that Atlantic. Then Kano, we know the history of Kano. We know the significance of Kano to sub-Saharan Africa, especially those people around that axis. Then we know Oyo. We know Oyo State very well. Oyo State used to be the capital of the Southwest. Fortunately for us in that axis of Southwest, there was nothing like any civil war around that place. So we were able to sustain that. Now, but when you look at Oyo, the closeness to Ogun State are the closest to Lagos, and you will see the Ogun State by the closest to Lagos and Atlantic too. You see that concentration of industry around those places. So this thing is normal human geography when we want to look at it.
Look, Ola, when you are trying to give all these excuses, look.
I'm not giving them excuses, so Ajale Koko. You know me very well that
the river is very close to Anambra there. There's a road that you can take from there that connect them to rivers. So, and rivers is close to Atlantic. So there's a lot of things that they can. Calabar as well. They are closer to Calabar as well. So there are a lot of things that the leadership that govern that space could do to make their place attractive for investors. They didn't do it.
No, Ajale Koko, don't forget that this is top 10. No, Ajale Koko, don't forget that this is top 10. If you are going to top 15, top 20, the situation might change. I want us to look at this thing very well. Casina make this list. How did Casina make this list?
Every justification you want to give to their backwardness in their contribution to the GDP of Nigeria, I don't see any justification for it at all, because Northeast and Northwest as well are going through insecurity, serious insecurity. Worse than what you have in the what do you call, in the Southeast. They are not close.
I'm not giving them Ajale Koko. I'm not giving excuses. I'm just trying to be professional. I'm just trying to be professional in my analysis. See, Ajale Koko, look at now. Cross River will have made this list today, if not because they are no longer oil producing state. Delta State, if you take Delta State out of oil producing state, there'll be nothing. Nothing will be attached to Delta State. We can agree on that fact. Now, if there's no presence of federal government in FCT will never make this list. Now, Katsina, we are looking here, if not because Rotimi Amechi and co that started pumping federal government resources to Katsina State, no way under the heaven and net will Katsina will have been part of this. This thing we are talking about. Then, if we take all those one out of that place, that will be talking of about 6 or 7 that we can say, when you look at their strategic location, they actually marry this. See, if you put the right infrastructure, not only the southeastern alone, even the federal government, if you put the right infrastructure, connect rail, high-speed rail from Lagos to the southeast, to all those locations, because federal government is the one now that controlling the largest chunk of our resources. If you link this in there, let me tell you one thing. Some of those things they are producing in Lagos or they are producing in Ogun State. If the cost of production will be cheaper in the southeast, they may take their production facility there, and what they will just do is to move everything to Lagos via train or whatever. So the thing is, we can't blame the southeasterner alone for whatever we find in that southeasterner. You see one thing, when it's time for me to give them hammer, I will give them hammer. But with what we are looking here, we can't blame them absolutely for this particular imbalance.
Who do you want to blame? Who do you want to blame for their economic backwardness? Who do you want to blame?
It's the federal government that capture all the resources.
No, this is the excuses that we.
It's not the excuses, woman. Okay, why is Cross River not here?
Hold on. You can't continue to blame federal government. Look, let me tell you what Southeast get in terms of return against their contribution to the GDP is enormous. They barely contribute 2% to the GDP of the country. Do you know how much they are giving every month on allocation compared to their contribution? How did they use it to the development of economic development of the Southeast? How did they use it? We must ask questions. Look, when you see people that fail to develop their place, just say it that these people fail. Don't blame federal government. Federal government has done the best that they can do on equal basis. Do you know how much? Compare the Lagos State contribution to the GDP. Compare it to what federal government gives to Lagos State. It's far below. It's nothing to what Lagos State contributes to the GDP of Nigeria. So, but these people that don't contribute nothing, and they were giving so much.
Where is Lagos State?
You are still blaming the federal government.
Ajale Goku, where is Lagos State contribution to the GDP is coming from? You consider all those things that you ship, you pass through Lagos Seaport. You consider the international airports. Now, the businesses they are running at Alaba, they are running at Orile, Igomu, all those areas too, they are going to pay VAT. See, I'm
look,
just
hold
trying to
on.
balance it.
Ola, stop this. Look.
No.
I mean, what's the name of the governor of Ebonyi State? Imohi. Do you know some gigantic mall and infrastructure that guy has built, begging for people? There are people calling on Easterners to come and occupy those malls and all those infrastructure that are put in place to help the economic growth of the state. They are not going. Why are they not going?
See,
What I'm telling you, hold on, Lola. What I'm telling you is that we cannot continue to blame federal government. Look at the statistic backward, 20 years backward. It's the same. It just shows that it's a consistent failure. No. They are not making any progress to improve. No sign of improvement in the development of their economy in the southeast.
No,
it's a consistent failure.
I don't look at it from that angle. Look, our economy is mostly service based. It's mostly service based, right? It's not manufacturing. If it's manufacturing, it can be another kettle of fish, right? Even though as Ogun State is still the most industrialized state in the entire Nigeria today. But you see, before the Civil War, if you look at the economy of the southeastern region, it's totally different from what we have today. Yeah, we can easily say, okay, the western, the southwestern economy was leading, but when you look at the southeastern part and the northeastern part and the north, you can see that relative to their capacity, you will see they were not too far from each other or one another. What I find today is this: we can't isolate the impact of the federal government from this thing. Look at it this way: there was a time that the western region, they used to supplement whatever JD product they needed from the import from the northern part of the country, and they will use the railway to bring those things in to that to that eastern part of to the western part of the country. So look at that alone. Look at what logistics, look at what it was doing to the businesses in the western region at that time. Now it's totally different now. Even if they are producing in that area, if they are manufacturing in that area, how do you connect? What type of policy do we have in this country that will make people establish a factory there and now start moving their products to, let's say, Lagos and to other parts of the country? So we can't. I understand what you are talking about, because we can say the same of Ekiti, we can say the same of Osun State, we can say the same of Ekiti State. So what is happening to this eastern state? We can get example of other states in either in the north or in the southwest that we can even equate to what is happening in the eastern region. So this thing is not ethnic based thing. It is all about dysfunctional federal system that we have. So when we are okay, look at the situation now. Innocent Motor is producing car, and we have the national policy that will be telling you that, oh, you go and buy foreign car like Toyota, you want to have everything foreign. Okay, what internal policy is supporting the innocent vehicle? If you have internal policy, we have our local policy that is saying, okay, local construction of materials. And just imagine innocent Motor supplying our National Assembly, our police, our military. Let's assume that we have situation whereby innocent Motor is supplying them their vehicle. It will be totally different. We'll be talking of a different ball game now. Like I said, the only reason Rivers State and Delta are on this list is just because of the crude oil. Say the crude oil there, they will not be part of this list. Then we'll be looking at all those areas that are very close to the Atlantic. So to me, is beyond, because to me, like these statistics now, it can easily cause some kind of an ethnic segmentation. But the problem is not what these people are contributing. The problem is what infrastructure, what arrangement do we have in that country? What type of policy do we have that can power this thing? Because all this thing we are talking about is service-based. It's not even manufacturing. So, and when we are celebrating service alone, we are not looking at
Allah, what I'm telling you, they are not the only one affected by this poor infrastructure and all those,
No, I get you. But I'm even saying those people that we are praising, this state we are praising, we are still not doing the right thing, because statistics sometimes can mislead. When you don't,
this is how can national statistic of the country mislead?
No. Like I said, no. I'm not saying the statistics is not correct, but interpretation can be misleading. Okay.
You cannot exclude some areas from the totality. They have to factor everything in when they make this calculation. So you can't remove oil or gas. It has.
I know for sure, Babati. I know for sure. What I'm saying, okay, look at population of Lagos State.
It's a sign of failure. It's a sign of failure on their
if you
side.
collect VAT on 20 million people, look at it.
And areas of where they have areas of economic activity where they have comparative advantage over others, they don't develop it well.
I just make an example. Innocent Motor today, what has the government done?
Government is doing a lot. The government is doing a lot. Do you know that Innocent Motor is government at the larger position of Innocent Motor in Nigeria?
Yes, and
if government doesn't support it, Anambra State government give it a very strong support. Then we have other state government buying it. Even from federal government, they are buying, but not enough as expected. But government is the backbone of.
But this is 2020 statistic. And we're in 2023.
Ola, let me ask you.
2020.
Ola, let me ask you. Have you had time to go through the 16 amendment that Buhari signed? Have you had time to go through those 16?
Not everything, but I understand what we are doing.
So part of it is that state can now generate their own power supply, and they can even own their own railway. It's part of the arrangement that they have. What I'm saying is that this will force us to start looking at the governors now. They'll be the one responsible. That we should not be caring about what happens in Abuja anymore. If they keep doing this
exactly.
So if you go and put a food there that is not very innovative as governor, you will see who's working and who's not working. We will see now.
I agree with you, Babati. You will see. I was here 3 days ago trying to justify why Fayemi was better than Fayose, because Fayose is loud. And people can say, oh, he did this individualized. Yes, because all those things that Fayose did, very critical and necessary. I'm not disputing that too. But because they are social infrastructure. But look at Fayemi's approach, totally different, because what Fayemi did was what actually increased the internal revenue in Ekiti State. You know, we talk of Ikogosi Resource Center, that is creating job, right? We talk of a revival of a Kunderi farm. That because of a Kunderi farm, because that airport, it's not even airport now, maybe airstrip, maybe that's the rename they are supposed to call it. You know, that airstrip is there just because of that Kunderi farm. And in the future, if they were able to get the rice mill, because he signed some memorandum of understanding to establish a rice mill, multi-million-dollar rice mill in Ekiti. Then we have some already started in around the Koliasis, all those. So those are the kind of investment. Those investments, you will never see them until maybe like 5-10 years time. But what I'm saying is this: it put a strategic something like an airport there for us to ferry all those things, to transport all those things from Ekiti when they start producing. So those are the things that you will see that if you give the state more power, they will do exactly what Fayemi is doing. What we are seeing in Ogun State today, it didn't start as bad as Otumba Gbenga Daniel was. He is so key. He is so key to what we are seeing in Ogun State today. When he followed what Lagos State did in land reform, even Baba he stole something small, but he was able to reform that area and make business easier for people.
Even that airport, was bringing that agro airport was bringing down that airport that they're doing in Ogun. That is bringing Daniel's idea. It was when I began the.
You understand? So when you see all those things, but what we are seeing today, I'm just saying that this thing that we are seeing today, yeah, we can. The governors, they can have some blames, but not entirely, not in totality. Because when these people cannot generate electricity to even do their business, what will they do? Now, when the federal government control the road, control the rails, and these guys, even if they produce there, if they want to even transport something from the state to Lagos, they will spend like 2-3 days on the road. So that's why we cannot absorb them entirely. So I won't use this one to judge, because we are still in import-dependent economy. You import goods and you come to Lagos. In Lagos, where you are going to pay your VAT, you do some oil business in River State, you pay your VAT. Now, look at the number of workers in Lagos, the number of people in Lagos that be paying VAT. So people are moving to all those areas because that's the area in the country that we can say economically viable. So that's the benefit. It's not as if these guys that you see here, it's not as if they are doing something special. I mentioned Katsina, for example. Since Buhari became the president, we have a University of Transportation in there. We have some kind of military something. They started moving different businesses to Katsina.
Even maritime is over there. What is maritime doing in the north?
Exactly, maritime in Katsina, where there's no way. So look at all those things. So we are not saying Katsina now make the environment conducive. No. Okay, what are they doing in Abuja? Other than the fact that Abuja is just FCT. That okay, we are saying Abuja is contributing. Purely government business. Kaduna, yeah, we can understand Kaduna. We understand how strategic Kaduna. Kaduna is just like when we are talking of Ibadan in the western region. Now, you understand Kano. Kano is an historical city for businesses. That one. Oyo State, we understand the impact of Awolowo. Oyo State, we are talking of that. Let us say one fact. Ibadan. If you take Ibadan out of Oyo State, what will we get in Oyo State? As good as Ogun State, that's understandable, very close to Lagos, the most industrialized state in the entire country. Although, you see, these are very clear. So the thing is, it's not entirely the fault of those states. Now, if you do it now, I won't be surprised if you see Anambra is an oil and gas state now. I won't be surprised if you see Anambra in top 15. So what will you tell me that Anambra is doing? Just because they've added the oil and gas. To me, this statistics is good, but I will say, let us wait for the latest one, because this is 2020. Let us wait for the latest one.
But I remember that a few months ago when they released the report about the viability, when they were having that VAT issue court case, and they said only 4 states were actually economically viable in Nigeria. I think it was Oyo, Lagos, Kano, and maybe Rivers. That if they took out the VAT from their funding, only 4 will survive in the whole country. So I'm wondering if they remove the whole oil and gas, what thing will remain then? I don't it's like 2 states.
No. You know, Babati. I'm of the opinion that economy doesn't operate in isolation. Your economy will move according to whatever money you have within the economy and the productivity of the country. For example, now, if you take oil and gas money away and people do not have money, people will look for alternative. There will be hardship, but people will look for substitute alternative. All of a sudden, you see people start going back to their farm. You see people start doing different things. Yeah, it's still going to be tough, but people will find their way to survive. If you ask Nigerian, every region to manage their resources, this fact that some states will not survive is just an hypothesis. That
they said immediate. They're looking at the short term, not long term. In long term,
they were thinking of, okay, let's give them 10 years to prepare their minds for this comment. That way they can prepare to transition.
No, of course, you don't do it like immediately like that. Even in Canada, in Canada, we have what we call equalization fund. You understand? Now that every region, like Babati where I live now, we contribute hugely to support some other provinces. So when we say all these states should be on their own, you build the model. Maybe you want to 10 years.
I'm saying that we should help. You will have this kind of fund, but we have the feeding bottle system right now where they're so lazy, they don't even want to do anything at all. Like
exactly.
Look at the breakdown of how much they contribute to. I mean, there's some. I was reading the breakdown. There are over 10 states in Nigeria that contribute zero to what we share. Zero. How can you have the whole state and they don't contribute anything to center? Zero.
Yeah, Babati, that's the problem. The question now is why are they not contributing? Okay, look at the olden days when we used to have granite pyramid in the north. You know, look at when we used to participate very well in cotton, in textile industry. Where are those things these days? Because people want to share money. Now, if you put 10 years plan in place, you give people power to operate, to generate electricity, you bring those textile back, you bring those hide and skin back. Now, so you start bringing all those things back and say, okay, in 20 years time, you make it concrete that everybody, you have to be on your own. You still be sharing the money, but the way you be sharing, it's not going to be in this evil way. We share that everything goes to Abuja. Do you know that the federal government makes money more than the federated states? And that's so bad. That's so terrible. Why we have illegal mining in Nigeria today is just because of the way federal government is staying on everything. Give every state, for example, that power to manage their national resources and pay the normal duties they are supposed to be paid to the federal or the cost of a union. Let them do that, and you will see that all those illegal mining you see all around, they will disappear. It may be the state government that may be stealing them. I'm not taking anything away from them, but the configuration of what we see today in the country will change entirely. So that's my understanding about it. But I won't use this one to actually castigate any state, to be honest.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Ola. So as we have gathered, connection problems as ever. I'm speaking to my provider, and they're saying they are aware, but so I'm having to now latch onto it with my phone, sort of a thing. But let's hear from voices that we've not heard from yet. Let's see if Kulata is ready for us. Kulata, are you there? All right, let's hear from Solly. Solly, are you there? Solly from Amsterdam.
Yes.
All right, brilliant. Good to have you, Solly. So we were speaking to the Peter Obi space, and this cryptic tweet that he has put out on Twitter, saying that he has not knowingly committed something criminal, which is to tell us that something criminal has been committed. So the speculation then, just off the back of him being arrested in London, is he preempting, people are suggesting, information about to be released? Wow, what's going on? We can't hear. What is there's a whooshing?
Is it a radio station?
Huh?
I thought I already asked this is I'm not sure the artistic to
Sorry, can you hear him okay, Ola? Because
he's talking as if it's in the radio station, as if it's the transmission room.
No, we can barely make you out.
I can't even understand what you're saying.
All right, let's try Gideon. Let's see if Gideon is there. So, Gideon, are you there? Hello, Gideon.
Hello, I'm here, Grandma.
All right, brilliant. So, is there? Good afternoon. Is there anything you'd like to speak to the conversation, Gideon?
Wait a minute, I want your stuff for that. Another Tinubu passport. Let me want to put you.
Oh, okay, carry on. Let's hear from you.
That Tinubu passport, that's in me. I see na that Bobby. That one not be here. Me, you look even the picture where it did. Even the picture where it did there, then you check on now.
Now, Oluwole, now you You know, say Twitter don't attack the man we put him. They don't come out and give him warning. Say, look, if you try this again, we could suspend you.
Even the play, you know, see that they say cookie they say the play. If you don't go Twitter, I mean, you go see the cookie where they say the play. He said the where they say Tinubu fly.
We get the thing where them put out now. Maybe we see a small.
Appelle-moi, DTO. Appelle-moi Souma. Eh, Souma! Eh, tiens, donne-lui ça. Donne-lui ça, dis de le mettre à Mara.
Avion est filmé.
I don't know what they talk. Tinubu na senior man from Nigeria. He goes some country, then respect him. So what they say make we see for the video?
You know me say because that boy no say Tinubu fair go that country. That make people they do that rubbish for that man. Everything. The way I talk about to this thing, they will make money. Commenting people, they will make money for their head.
Yes, now the guy just take the name, make money. He just he do this passport. Can't they sell them all over social media? They make money.
They do with that one. Tinubu would make they will Tinubu make money well. With anything where they do. They don't say that even they made that man the popular well people say. Anything what they do, eh?
But it never reach make it don't do. I mean, how long we go there for this same bus stop? Na Agbado for the next 4 years. Na slow it go be for the next 4 years. Agbado every time.
They not leave that man. These people, they not leave that man. If not their man, they go cover. Now Tinubu and I they rain for them. Now Tinubu the sell market for them. May they continue. They continue. Now that one me I just get because you see that picture. Look Tinubu that time. You don't see the Tinubu for inside that helicopter. The way he fresh was there.
No, be saying na even na Tinubu they there no question and Sanwo-Olu about if Tinubu go Niger Republic or whatever, you go expect say a senior Nigerian then go give him presidential treatment. So waiting then say make we look for the clip. I know still get them.
You know what it means? They try to tell you for that. Look the passport. Where that not be that the center where they enter that helicopter. They do that passport. Look that passport. When you look that picture where they that where that Tinubu that time and that passport, you see say na different day where.
You see the thing don't tire me. Say I don't know where this waka go take land. This waka where with the if like say
that boy put for that passport, he said that one where he take show Tinubu say the hospital, then you put for that listing.
And you know, I'm sure you have a passport. There's a certain quality of picture that you need for a passport. So even the picture on that passport is not the sort of pictures that any passport would accept. Because your face has to be well lit and it has to show properly. That picture, it be like say that just go Google, cut one picture, put them for inside now, one passport.
That boy do that one. I told what did that boy do? You do work for inside Google, all those things. He do computer work for that passport.
All right. If I say Babati want to ask you a question, Babati, you won't follow Gideon Yan.
Yeah, like I just want to ask something like this.
No, you got you speak a language. We don't be this. Yeah, correct now. Yeah, correct.
Okay. The kasala way will be there for UK. So, like, now small trouble or big trouble, you can say the guy go land for London when they grab him for UK. If you have to speculate, say the trouble way will be there for UK. Now small trouble or na big wala where would they expect?
I don't know what the one will be there for UK. I don't know that one. That one I don't even know what it will be there for UK.
See that mistake.
He never tell us say he get problem. He never tell us say he there anything for UK. I don't fit talk with him. I don't know. I want to talk for that one.
All right. May I ask you a question, Gideon? You must talk true. If I ask you this question, you must talk true. It go sweet you if they release a photo where them put will be for a handcuff for UK. Yeah, it go sweet you if you see that one.
No, I don't want more obesity. I don't want anybody to get problem. I know for a few. I'm not happy for just example.
You not talk true for that one, or I don't believe you.
I'm not happy because election you don't already lose. What I know. I'm not happy for that one.
What do you think so be one gain for this thing where still they do after the election don't come, don't go?
Obi one day wants to use the same. You know, say this time if he quits, all these followers, all of them will just disappear. They will disappear. Obi know what they do now. You know, game where they follow them.
So if they take the yawa they hold in base together, they take them. What do you think they won't take these people do? These people where they gather, what do you want take them do?
Obi, they use these people to they make all those people. What did they call all these
obedience?
All these lawyer. What did they call them? All these this thing now judge. All those then. Now they wait for all them. At the day when they go judge, you will see waiting go up that day.
Yawa go bust. Yawa go bust. Yawa go bust.
Not be smart to go up that day. All these people. You know what they do with these people.
You feel go on, Babati.
No. I'll wait. I was thinking maybe perhaps it has something to do with that Pandora paper thing that might be linked to. I was just thinking like just.
You mean it's a UK arrest?
Yeah, I think it has something to do with that.
You know what people are speculating is, when he was traveling around canvassing for money for his elections, a lot of people are speculating that corrupted monies went into that donation, which came in from money laundering suspects, and he was caught up in illegal money when he was here.
That's crazy. Well, it has to do with the consequence, because if that happened in the UK, trust me, the US will be looking at the door too, as I said, because it came to the US too. And you know how that goes. So if the UK is knocking on your door, if that is the case, then the US, trust me, will also be knocking on the door very soon.
All right, brilliant. So Gideon, give us final words that maybe go follow.
Obi matter, Obi, all this Obi people, those people, especially our Benin people, wait, they inside. Now that they put fire, where our Benin boys.
In our they were they too much for Benin. Now everything I overdo. Now they kill the Benin people. Everything that overdo. Even Igbo people say no carry on for head reach Benin people. This will be my.
Benin people, if you reach that Twitter, that boy with the costume, that Benin boy, now he they put fire. Maybe their fire that they donate money when they want to do riot for every country, every state. That they donate money for themselves.
Say after the judgment, Abby. After the judgment.
Maybe I saw the day of the May 29. Now that they plan for.
All right. I'm sure the security services are ready for them. Make all these small picking, make them not go through their life away for Peter Obi, because by the end of this year, Peter, yeah.
My brother not there, my sister not there. Everyone where I like, I don't talk to them. They not here. So they carry pastors, many pastors still the way they put fire. They leave their children. They go put.
Saying that their money there now there'll be space. If they talk the thing where they like, money go just they flow yafu. So everybody just they collect for that to be space now.
Where they collect? Where they collect? Nigeria, where they want to for food left. Nigeria, they're not going another country. If it don't happen, I don't know. Now they will be.
I never see this kind of thing before. We don't get elections so for Nigeria.
Our papa, what did they call him? Obasanjo. You know, say Tinubu as they call go do fast now. And what Tinubu want do, you go make even him. They not go hear him name again. Now that the mind, fear. Now that one you fear. That man.
Now, may we hear from your Pekin? I be like saying in the talk sense pass you. Eh? How old is he? How old is he?
He's 3 years.
Ah, good. He's already speaking. I can hear him saying that man, that man. You see now, and the next governor of Edo State be that. All right. And no be Edo you be. And no, now for you know Edo, then they always like their own. Now if you be Edo, then go embrace that now. All right. I was going to go to Solly, but it seems as though he has disappeared or not. So, Solly, if you want to come back and have your word before. So, Solly, are you there? I'll give you a moment to come back, Solly, and then I'll wrap it up. So, well, as I wait for you to come back, Solly, let's hear final words from Babati. So, Babati, the political space that we thought there was nothing to harvest from it anymore, and we have to think of other things that are to talk about. It seems as though it still harvests plenty. Peter Obi, the gift that continues to give. Babati. Hello? Can anyone hear me? Am I off again?
I can hear you.
All right.
Maybe Babati step away.
All right. Give us final words then to round it off. I think everybody is spent. I was going to go to Solly, but it's disappeared.
No, yeah, what I just want to advise our people, irrespective of the side you belong politically, you see one thing, politicians are not worth our negative energy. You don't let us spend negative energy in promoting politicians' selfish interests. Whatever we'll be able to achieve through the processes, through our laws, let us please stay by it, and don't let us just create unnecessary tension and try to burn the country down. Leave politicians on their own to defend their dirty deeds when they are caught. You are not supposed to be unsolicited publicity or PR manager. So just leave them. Don't let us use propaganda to bring our country down, because if you try to use propaganda and force the propaganda to bring that country down or to create problem, whether you are in the UK, whether you are in the US or Canada, everyone will feel the heat. Nobody is isolated. Nobody is immune. Please let us behave like a patriotic citizen. Thank you, everyone. See you later.
All right, brilliant. Well put. So all rounds of the session. So we'll leave it there to reconvene later in the evening. Apologies for the breaking transmission. I've got system problems, but my provider, they're aware. So there's really not much I can do from this end. So hopefully by the evening, everything is back 100%. Thank you for your company. Before we round off, let's just acknowledge the people that have tipped towards the platform. So I say the people that have tipped towards the platform, we're only really going to that one name that we always go to, of course. Ayo does as he always does. So he kicks off the buy the coffee with the earlier session. So thank you, Ayo, for that. And Ayo, of course, he doubles up the coffee with a super chart. So let's just let's find and highlight Ayo super chart, and that's Ayo doubling up the coffee with a super chart. So that's Ayo, the only member of the platform with a wallet. So we say thank you to Ayo, only to reconvene for the evening. So I'll leave it here. Carry conversation within the comment section, but here I say peace.